Guys, welcome in. Yeah, 2 o'clock. That means a couple hours left on a Monday here. That's turning into a pretty ugly afternoon once again. Coming off, if you remember, 3 straight to end last week. We had all 3 U.S. markets in the red for the 2nd straight week in a row on Friday. So we're adding to those numbers today. Here's what futures are doing right now for you, get you up to date here as we head into, as I said, the final 2 hours. 0.92 there for the S&P, 0.5% for the Dow, 1.3 currently for the NASDAQ. It's been leading the way to the downside all day long. Big tech under pressure once again. We're red here in Toronto as well. 0.86 there for the futures of the TSX. 1.8% upside, meanwhile, for crude oil. I did note during the midday there, I was looking through some oil stocks, and they're not really following suit, along with this move back higher for crude. 1.7 now for Bitcoin, 2% for Ethereum. We did kind of roll over there for all of the cryptos at the end of the morning, and did try to bounce, but not unsuccessful, obviously now down 2% for Ethereum. That's the way the board looks right now. 1.07 currently for the S&P. That's for solar. We were discussing some of these clean energy related names early on this morning. If you joined us, it was Enphase, this one over here, with the upgrade today. 0.75% for ENPH, 3.5% meanwhile for First Solar, obviously in that group as well. There was a note suggesting that this one could be one to watch going into the new year as we get more and more attention put towards alternative energy. Oracle up there notably strong as well, 0.8 in positive territory when the rest of this group is, of course, negative on the day. We were discussing these earlier as well, some of the travel names getting hit today. 4% almost there for Norwegian, 4.5% meanwhile for Carnival. Win here as well, 5.3% to the downside. Look at Nike as well, little Chinese related names anyways to the downside. 3% for NKE in negative territory. Warner Brothers, all of the streaming names are here. Look at Warner Brothers, 7.3%. Pretty ugly day. The rest kind of mixed back and forth we go. A little positivity in industrials. Some healthcare stocks coming through in the green as well. That is the lay of the land as we get going here on a Monday afternoon. Hope yours is going well. A ton of things to look at this morning. If you joined us in the pre-market, make sure you join us, first of all, in the pre-market every single day. We get you set for the open at 8:30 every morning. Grab the watch list, then come talk to us at 8:30. Shawn's going to lead the way this afternoon with a look at one of his trades from this morning.
Hey, what's up, traders? It's your trade of the day, and today it's brought to you by Day Trade the World. Make sure you hit that QR code below and start your prop trading journey ASAP. Why not today? Okay, look, Amazon, right? I mean, we called it today early. If you're looking for some trade ideas, it's right here. It's called your sticky note. Have a look at that at TraderTV, Shawn. We talked about shorting Amazon on there, and that's exactly what we did. You can see today Amazon down 3%. I have the market right here, only down 1.5%. So we're already picking on Amazon. And why were we picking on Amazon? I mean, just look at, this is a 20 period chart, right? So it's a 20-minute chart, goes back to last Wednesday where we were at $94, $95. And now you're just seeing sort of the cascade all the way to the downside. And I mean, my whole logic on this, I've been going short on Amazon for quite a while. Just, I feel like retail, when we have rising rates, not a great Black Friday. I mean, that's the reports, and it's even continued now into Christmas and holiday shopping. I don't know, man. I mean, I was at a couple malls. They were pretty busy, but not that busy. Is inflation and all that really having an effect on the retail and the consumer? I believe more so than even we can think. So rising rates, we just had another rate increase. I want to be short. Now, we had the short up here. We were talking about if we ever bumped up to like, I don't know, $90, $88 today is where we really wanted this short, but that never really came through. So, you know, you couldn't wait for 90, 91. I mean, some of these highs just weren't coming in. The market started the day off pretty flat. So look what we did right away. We actually watched this name fall all the way down. And my first trade was just, this is right away, almost right at 9:30. Market just keeps dropping. I was waiting up here at the pre-market, like I said, 88.50, 89. We didn't get any love there. So I just said, you know what, we're shorting this thing and we're going to short it right now. As soon as we broke 87.50, I took it. Really nothing. There was, which is why we put this here, there was some pre-market volume there and some levels to look at, but ultimately the better shorts up here. But we didn't wait. We took it instantly. Within the first 2 or 3 minutes, we're right away in the money, 50 cents. We take it. Bounces back up. And at this point, you're still in the first 10, 15 minutes of trade. So for me, very hard. We were messing around with Tesla, Microsoft, and the bit. So we didn't really have too many plays. Comes back down. We get out at 87 again, another piece. Then we watch it cascade all the way to the downside. We still have the short. We're actually only out of 2/3 of this. We still have a third. We're tweeting about this as it's happening all the way down. And look where we start to base out at 85. Well, I put my stop order in once we broke above 85.50. I said, hey, look, we're already in the money, $2.70 or whatever it was. Let's just try to hold. Maybe we get a low break. We were also tweeting out Amazon's 52-week bottom, 85.87. Well, I mean, that happened right here. Boom, that's what created the cascade. So I had no idea where it was going to stop. We get out. But then look what happens. Market comes back up to the upside a little bit. You can't see it in here. We'll have to go for a larger time frame. Right into here, the 5-minute. It's a little bit of a bump up there. So what happens is we let Amazon come all the way back. First shorts, we take it out to 200 period. This is just a 1-minute chart. Then we take the next short and we say, you know what, our out's gonna be 86. Start building it, 85.60, 85.80. That's why you could see at the bottom, well, when this is done, I have the short rate now. So we take the short again. Look where we start cashing out. Ding, 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 all the way to the downside. These are 40, 50, 60, 70 cent winners. Then we take another piece out right here. Where? Right at 85 bottom. So we're starting to like 2 trades, the short, then the short again. But be patient, right? It goes back to that lesson that we always talk about. Find out, and that's why I threw the sticky note wherever it went. That sticky note right there, we had the Amazon short. We talked about why we were biased that way. So all you really got to do is find the right price to get in and be patient, right? So let it fall down, take your out when it breaks higher, which we did. Then we're like, wait a second, we still want the short, let's re-short, but have the ability to sort of regroup. You could be wrong, and there's going to be some more excitement coming when we talk about Tesla in a couple minutes, but Tesla was a good example of that as well. Amazon, stay net short, we hit it. It's P&L wise, my #1 stock. So it's Amazon, and it's your trade of the day.
And a great one to the downside once again for AMZN. On that as well this morning, make sure you grab the watch list, guys. If you haven't done so, super easy. All you have to do is hit that link, enter your email, and then it just shows up for free every single day. We do all of your homework for you, put it in a nice package, and then you come join us at 8:30. And we talk about how to trade these things. This was the Evercore note, first of all, for Amazon this morning. Cutting their price target to 150 from 170. It's $20, whatever. But they did in this note mention weak retail, weak demand going into the new year as well. They all but went as far as saying there's a recession and people aren't going to be buying stuff. So that's that. This is Bitcoin trying to bounce off day lows right now. This is a 5-minute chart, so you can see what we've done today. Back down to 16,530. As I mentioned when we came on, we're starting to roll over a little bit here, but bouncing off day lows again for BTC. Let me pull over this Elon note, and we can jump into a few things here regarding Tesla. Yeah, I still haven't seen, I know a few people were mentioning at the end of the midday show that Elon has resigned. I still haven't seen anything to that effect. If that has happened, we'll obviously keep an eye out. This was this morning, though. Obviously, yesterday, this poll goes up on his Twitter account. As of this morning, 57+% saying yes, he should resign. Regardless, Tesla downside once again, guys. This 150 seems to be a bit of a magnet, though.
Yeah, well, it was a magnet on Friday, but it's broken. But the thing is, 150 broke to the downside. It broke back up, and now it's actually, oddly enough, bouncing off it again. I mean, I haven't seen anything either that suggests that he's actually stepping down. We know there was the poll, but officially, I don't.
I think he will.
I think he will eventually. There's no question.
But it's on Twitter, isn't it?
Yeah, but Twitter. But he said he was going to step down eventually from the beginning. He was never going to run this for the long term. It's just a matter of the timing here. So anyways, I took the long on 150 in front of 150 on Tesla, kind of what I didn't do on Friday, and it lasted. I actually had a chance to scalp out of it and take some at 151 or in front of 151, didn't do so, and then it broke the 150. It actually slipped all the way to 149.5, which is crazy. There was on the 50 break, there was no liquidity until 50 pennies lower. I then shorted 150 on the way back. It was looking fantastic. I had like a $1 winner on it, and then it ends up breaking higher. I shorted it one more time at 152. Was waiting for it to get up to like 55, 56. It did not. It turned at 54. And at this point, I almost don't want to trade this 150 level unless it starts holding below that with the market flushing. I just feel like it's going to run away from this price. So let's let it break a consolidation in one direction or another. There's a lot to look at today. You'll probably see I'm still in Intel and Affirm, but I'm back into Cause M, which finally moved to the downside. I guess we're not really talking about that one. So I did just get into this one. It flushed down, finally broke channel to the downside. I'm shorting it off $9, got 8 half short, and want to play it back into some of the, I guess, some of the prices it was trading on Friday in the pre-market after that crazy run that it had.
Yeah, so follow, we talked about at TraderTV Shawn, both on the Instagram and on the Twitter machine. But this is why, man. We talked about this earlier. We had Tesla on here, written right here. 150, always a key level. So there it is right there. Wait for it, short sell it. We wrote this when it was at 154. And then there it came in, right? Came in pretty good into that 150 area early. So what we were doing was really just buying it. We bought it a little bit early. We took a little bit of profit on this. Then when it came back in, we defended that 150, which we talked about not doing that, but we wound up doing it anyways. And then we get out when it breaks 150. So we're kind of down not that much here because we took $1. So remember, this went in the money $2. We didn't take it. Our first 153 went up to 155. I thought maybe we would take this level out. What's the market doing now? Kind of going back up, okay. Yeah, not doing much. Okay, I just wanted to talk about my Amazon position, just watching out for that one. Then we went long, got out. We took $1 right there. That was good. Averaging it at 150.40, 150.20, out. Then the short. This is where the money starts coming in. So we actually wind up getting short at 149.50. We missed the break. First take 148.50. That's $1. Then we get out. I don't know. I was waiting for the 50 period to cross, and as soon as it did, we got out. You know where we got out at? 147.11, 147.03 or something like that. We're out. So that's almost $3 there on that move. So we lose 50, 60 cents here, make $1, make 250, whatever it was, and get out. That should have been indicated to the long. But look how good these lines are working. I wanted 151.70. I just didn't put it in because I was going up there for the trade of the day, right? But that level break right there was a great one to the downside. I just didn't want to manage it because like my stop would have been up here, and if I was trading while talking, it wasn't been good. But now that we're sitting here, I'm going to watch out for this 152 level again to come in. I really like that breaking lower there. It was the 50 period. It was back into here. I really like a 152 break for Tesla. But Brendan mentioned there that, or we all did, sort of, he put that poll up about Tesla and Twitter. It's to leave the Twitter CEO, right? So yeah. I really feel like once he makes that announcement, then all that like back and forth BS, to be honest with you, I think it is, about he can't, run this company, run that. We saw Jack Dorsey do that with Block and Twitter. At that point it was Square. I don't know if Twitter needs a new leader. I don't know what Twitter needs. That's going to be up to those guys. But obviously once he announces that he's sort of leaving Twitter sort of to be run by itself or whatever he's going to do there, I do think that Tesla gets a bounce, like a premature bounce off that. Tesla's PE, I mean, we talked about this with Arun, and I'm assuming it's only obviously gotten worse. So here's Tesla right here. I don't think I have to update this too much. I had PE written on. Oh, there it is right there.
Stock's going
it's right
down,
there.
so it's only getting better.
Yeah, it's only getting better. That's what I was going to say. 48 still for Tesla, right? If you want to look at another name, I mean, why is Shawn talking about Tesla short and Amazon shorts? I mean, PE, 81 for Amazon, right? So, I mean, come on, it's not like rocket science here. There are some names that need to be recorrected down. We are short Microsoft, which is $2 in the money. Maybe we'll talk about that soon, but it's some of these high PE names, and Microsoft is actually one of those as well.
NVIDIA is 70.
Yeah, and AMD I think is 30 something. Microsoft is high 20s. Apple just got hit down to 130 again. Yeah. Like there's definitely sort of a rebranding here of what PEs are acceptable in what environment. Yeah.
These guys coming up have a respectable PE.
Yes, I like Meta.
Yeah, but it's also a reflection of the size of the monstrous move that Meta had. I was looking at it on the weekend, and if you go back to just January, February, March kind of 2020, I mean, it was in the 30s split adjusted. So like just absolutely insane to the upside for Tesla. Here is the Meta note from this morning. If anyone missed it, the EU Commission saying it's likely that the company breached antitrust laws, could impose as much as a 10% global operating revenue type of fine if this is the actual case for Meta. There was another note from The Verge that came across just before we came on talking about about half of their Reality Labs operating expenses specifically go to AR. I was just looking at this DWAC as well, breaking 2 new lows on volume, but a bit of a mess to say the least there, guys, for Meta today.
It is, and like I shorted a lot of things this morning, but I missed Meta by about 10 pennies. It was the 50 period that was breaking down. It was 117.70 or so on the daily chart at the 50 period, and I like the pop and fade. So there's your pre-market high at 118.25. That's exactly the dip buy that we had on Friday morning. So it was a big level. I liked the level. As it started to come up there, I missed it by, I want to say fractions, like it got to 117.80 or so, and I think I missed it by 5 or 7 cents or something along those lines. Now it's at the low of the day, just trending to the downside. This 115, by the way, turning into a bit of the same way 150, you're just back and forth there. Right now you're just back and forth at this 115 on Meta. So I need to see it break away from this price for a trade in the afternoon. I like 116. If it gets up to VWAP, I'll probably short it. Otherwise, it needs to break this channel to the downside. The market's trending down. 1.5% we're sitting at right now, but Meta much weaker than that overall.
I didn't want to interrupt, but attention, alert, alert, alert. Amazon, you got to come to my screen, Lucas, if you can, real quick here. Amazon has quite a big bid here at 85. So I just took out another piece right here at 03. I mean, this to me makes the most sense. Although I'm not, as traders, I'm not afraid of that size. It's only 400,000 shares. Give or take, it's actually more about 500,000 because you got NASDAQ right there with 300,000. You got ARCA there with 160,000. And then did it just break? No, it's getting close.
No, not yet.
And then you have NASDAQ, ARCA, and EdgeX. So if you add all these books up, that's Edge, NASDAQ, and ARCA, you're probably, plus dark, you're probably going to have 1 million here, probably, right? So, I mean, it looks like you can't even break 01s right now. And it could, just to show you, like, the kind of money that is going through here that Neil and I have to, like, fight every single day. Watch this. Like, this is, there it is. It's gone. You see what I'm saying? Like that's
in one shot.
Like that was $100 million sitting there, if not more. Right now, it goes back up. But the point, what I'm getting at is just you just saw that size basically get eaten up alive right there at 85 flat, as if it didn't even matter. So right there, that's $100 million. Wait a second, 85. Times, I called at least $1 million there, right? So
approximately.
probably more with all the dark pools and stuff. So I would say you just saw like $100 million go through in and out of Amazon right there. I don't know if it's out, but definitely in. Someone got filled long or got out of their short, and someone executed is I guess the better word. So there it is right there, Amazon. You might have just saw that, Brendo, so that was pretty cool. We're still short this name, and for, nothing to do with that, but that's another reason to go short. If they're willing to just take that level out in like one Thanos snap, then I mean, ever since I saw that movie, Neil, I'm never going to let it down. I even said that in our pool the other day.
I know.
I was like, now that I'm in last place, I have to put on the glove and snap my team out of existence here as we go. But okay, so anyways, there it goes, Amazon to the downside. You guys know I like Meta. I really like that PE. It's finally at a P. It's 11. The P is 11. I don't even need to look it up. I think that's reasonable, although they do have obviously a lot of back and forth, and that story tells it all with the EU, right? I mean, you're going to continuously get antitrust with with Meta, with Google,
Apple's
Snap,
under pressure by them as well.
Apple, Pinterest, like anything that's like a social media type of thing, there's always going to be some inequalities with the way those algorithms and things like that work. So I think you just take the good with the bad there. I would buy Meta on any dips, but still pretty good run for Meta from 85 to 130 there. Probably still a short until this market gets figured out.
I grabbed that 85 short on Amazon. I was waiting around for it. I didn't go long, like Tesla, but I did grab the short. I got slipped to 92, which is much better than Tesla, because Tesla was 50 pennies of slipping.
You couldn't get Tesla.
You could. Well, I got out of my long, but I got out of my long at 50s. It was like a 50 penny hit. But I did short this Amazon 85 break. I feel like everybody, a lot of traders, if you weren't already short, seeing that much on the bid at a level like that, you had to.
Yeah.
Yeah, great look for Amazon headed on the board there, but yeah, we had to jump to that with that much size on it. Who needs a dark pool when you can just throw a couple 100,000 shares on the bid and get filled all in one shot? Here's Alibaba. We were discussing some of these Chinese ADRs this morning as well. Exactly flat, or it was there a second ago, exactly flat after gapping to the upside. If you missed it on Friday, this was the headline that was really leading these things higher. They're going to avoid delisting after these audits appear to have gone to plan, or at least gone according to U.S. officials or what they were looking for. But right back down, guys. We gap up again today and give it all back.
Yeah, like some of these were relatively simple, but the one I preferred, it was NEO that I liked, and it was all about, it was just about what was happening on the daily chart here. Like it's just, if we come to the daily, it was just riding the 50-period moving average, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row. And then you were trying to gap up on essentially what I thought was nothing. And when it broke that, it broke 11.50, and it was just clean right into $11. I mean, I did take half of it out at that first quarter, and then took some out in front of 11.11, and then done at 11 even. It's since bounced, and it's right at $11 here, but every now and then it's these little bottom break levels that are going to work. And I think you always want to zoom out and go to that time frame, because that's the kind of channel. If it hugs the moving average like that, and you get a chance for a breakdown, or it could be a break up, depending on what you're looking at. But I just loved that setup. I didn't get it. I mean, Alibaba probably gave you just as good of a trade, but it was just such a different setup. Like, you were shorting Alibaba essentially at the high off the 90 area, and you went all the way back to the lows. I just like those bottom support breaks a little bit more than sometimes having to take that short in front of that big key level on a BABA. But any one of them you took, I think you were absolutely fine.
Yeah, I didn't take anything on China, but I did have Alibaba written down. I do like Alibaba. I think that would be my vehicle to short any of those. XPeng and NEO lately. NEO's been a good stock for me, but lately had some hard reads because it's only a $13 stock, or it was. XPeng is like $6 or $7 now. I don't even know where that thing is anymore. They're just really hard for me to trade. We have been short Microsoft here, and we are still $2 in the money Microsoft as we reloaded that at VWAP as well at about 12:30. And just bring it to everyone's attention here, because we ride this all the way down through the 50 period, right? So it's really given us this trade. Like we said, I know I wasn't here Thursday, Friday. It doesn't really matter. I've studied the markets. You take it home with you a little bit, and that's the best thing. Like, I actually like studying the markets and looking at charts and things like that and trying to figure out, where's your paycheck coming for the next day. We definitely wanted Microsoft long at that 244, but we realized that this is a very violent name, so we got in and out of that real quick early. That's like a 40-cent, 30-cent hit early. Then we just flipped it over into these shorts, and Microsoft's printing to the downside right now. So like I said, over $2 now in the money, but debating getting this name out here if we take this 50 level. So just watch out, Microsoft. Tides can turn here on stock, just like we did with our Tesla. Like, just so you guys know, and I know we're talking about Alibaba, and I'm a little off track here, but I just think it's important that we know where we're going to get out. Like, here's Tesla, right? We get out on that break of the 50 period. That's out at 147. It saved us $7 up to 154. Now, I wouldn't have held it all the way, but we get out, and it saves me at least $1 or two trying to get out up here near 149 or 150. So that saves me there. And I think I want to try to do the same thing here with Microsoft. If, it keeps on pointing to the downside. So, let's think about this. 239.40, 239.50 to get out of Softy. It's $2.25 in the money right now. So let's deal with this, as it's going to take down 239 now. This market, Neil, honestly, I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know what it was like Thursday. I know what it was like Thursday, Friday, but it's just,
short the pops.
It's just exactly. It's just a short. It's continuously a short. Like, Powell came out, man, and it was fun to trade that day for sure, but it's been sort of wonky to the downside since then, and I don't think it's going to stop, man. I mean, I don't know where the next,
shooter drop is?
No, I know the next shooter drop is down, but I mean, I don't know what the next positive piece of news, what are we waiting for? I guess we're just waiting for that complete pivot at this point. I don't know, Brendan. I'm pretty, not depressed is not the right word, but it's not happy.
Well,
because you thought you had a little bit of a bounce there.
This is the thing. It's all well and good to make money shorting as a day trader, but it's it is more fun as a day trader if the market's going up. In the last couple of years in a bull market, we just kind of come in, you take a bunch of breakouts, they work. That's probably a little more satisfying than when the market's working to the downside. It's
not even about this trading. It's just it's the mentality of the market. If it just keeps going down, it's good for us.
But I know, but they're selling every pop. That's the thing. Even when it looks good, look how strong Tesla was from noon till about 1 o'clock. and it still sold off and got halfway back to the bottom. Like, by the way, Intel just broke a fresh low. Like, I just bought Intel in my long term. Well, I didn't just buy it, but I mean, it was at 25, like, back in October, and this was rallying like 30. It broke the 50 period. You're like, okay, channel up. Maybe that's a temporary low. It's headed right back to 25 as we speak. So, you know, it's just one of these things where, like, every single time you think you get a good pop, you're reminded what the overall trend looks like, and all you got to do is zoom out on a 60-minute or a daily, or just pick a time frame and zoom out on it, and that'll remind you that you're not actually getting anywhere to the upside recently.
I like that, Steve G. Yeah, I need a cat video. I need one of those funny cat videos I can watch so I don't have to think too much about the market. But I'm doing myself a favor. I'm not logging into my crypto. I'm not logging into, well, this is all a lie. I check this pretty much all the time.
Exactly.
But crypto,
I was about to say, I'm like, come on.
And the long-term account. But I don't do anything. I'm not trading out of anything. It's just like punishment looking at it, because Tesla right now, 52-week low. Amazon, 52-week low. Disney, 52. Like, I thought I was being all Mr. Cool Guy buying Disney back down at $80 in pandemic. It went to 190 or whatever it did. Turned around completely. Disney, brand new 52-week lows again today, Brendo.
Like you knew it was coming up next. Great segue. Disney, guys, and AMC. We were discussing a little bit in the pre-market there in relation to this Avatar release that missed estimates ever so slightly. I mean, it's a few million anyways. It was 134 versus 175 million expected. Disney down the worst here, 4.6%. Yeah, 52-week lows and day lows currently for Disney.
Well, I didn't trade Disney, but I see AMC's out there. Look, AMC I liked for one price level and one price level only. It was $5. And it doesn't matter sometimes as a day trader, when you get a key level, you should be willing to go both ways. But I made what I'd like to say is a big mistake, right? Like, there was a wick bottom initially when it broke 5. And you can I'll go to the daily chart. Wow. I'll zoom in the daily chart so it looks a little more reasonable. But there was a double bottom at $5 on the daily. Then come in the morning, it tries to wick the bottom. I was long the first time, stopped out for about a 5-cent hit. It held the low, longed it back into 520. That was fine. And then I reloaded and jumped in front of 5 a second time and reclaimed the low. But I should have shorted here, right? Like, the second time it goes through, comes right back, gives you the short at 5 down to 475. I don't take that trade. I wait for it to come all the way back up, retest 5, and now I'm short at 96. So the same way I was long a couple of times off the 5 level, I should have been short twice. I'm only short once. It's heading toward its low of the day. I think it gets to SSR, or actually, you know what? It bounced off SSR. I think 478 is exactly 10% down. So it ends up bouncing off the short sell restriction price at 10% down. I think that could end up being a bit of a floor on AMC. And if you still watch 8, by the way, that thing is still heading towards 0 rapidly. It doesn't matter what you short, but this one never even seems to catch any bounces.
All right, look, I mean, Avatar be damned. I mean, I know we have Avatar written down there. I saw the movie. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, this move, Disney's not losing like this market cap because of Avatar missing by $50 million. I mean, it has nothing, honestly. I mean, look, if Avatar would have blown it out, Disney's not going to be up 5% today. This is just, you know, waiting for an opportunity to hit the stock. I mean, I hate the stock.
Disney's a 50-something PE. Its forward PE is better, but.
I mean, it's just, like, we're breaking. It didn't matter. The market's down 1.5% today. Here's Disney on the daily chart. Broke 90. See you later. It's gone. I mean, you're taking out these lows. I mean, obviously, I shouldn't say, you know, nothing to do with Avatar, because obviously it's down a little bit more than the market today. But it was already down here. It was already getting killed. Like I said, I don't think one thing has anything to do with the other. Content is so expensive. They've already talked about not being net profit. Like I said, forget about Avatar. They've already talked about their streaming not even being profitable till 2024. Well, I mean, if their box office isn't doing that well, their streaming clearly isn't doing that well. I told you, Ant-Man and Bee-Woman, that movie ain't gonna do nothing. And then that Black Adam is already on HBO Max. Like, I just, honestly.
Why do you have to not just, you know it's the Wasp.
I know.
We corrected it this morning. You know it's Ant-Man and the Wasp.
You weren't here a couple times. Were you here when we did Brendan's, he said the Hammer Man? With Thor?
I was here for that.
Yeah,
because
so
sometimes I think you guys
I'm channeling
are
that.
I know, and
I'm channeling that.
Because you know it'll get me.
No, but
I actually thought the first Ant-Man was funny.
Yeah, well, I can't even. I'm pretty sure I watched it, but I don't know. Like the
B1.
guy goes into a little ant. I don't know. I'm not really feeling
He
that.
doesn't go into it.
Like as opposed to Thor and stuff like that. Doesn't the ant actually expand? Isn't it like a big ant or something? I don't know.
It's like a suit. It's like a suit that allows him to shrink. It just happens.
Yeah, he looks like an ant. I ain't being like reincarnated into no ant. Anyways, okay. All right.
I'm trying to like defend a superhero movie, which is it's hard to do. But
yeah. Well, I mean that's why. I mean, what's up, Bears versus Bulls? I mean that's why I'm doing it, just to be funny. I mean it's probably not that funny. Okay. You know what's okay? Let's get rid of that. I want to talk about quickly though about Smile Direct. There's a lot of talk here about Smile Direct, and actually. Like, I wish Smile Direct was a little bit higher up than where it is, because then I would maybe trade it.
Is it a penny stock?
But it's a penny stock. Penny stock.
Oh my God.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my
so
God.
it's only 40 cents. Like
Hey, you know what?
I remember we were talking about
this.
Smile Direct, and like, I kind of wish it was a success, because I just wrote the check. It was $3,000 for phase 1 of braces. Like, we don't have any coverage, like, or our coverage doesn't cover orthodontics, so I'm completely screwed, completely out of pocket. So I have to use more shares on these trades. But there it goes, man.
Oh.
Once you get below 50, honestly, I don't, and I know that some traders are looking at it. I don't know what the catalyst is, but it's
Quarter
only
bounce. That's usually it.
It's only down. It's only 1.2 million shares. It's not like it's huge. Look what this looks like on the daily. I mean. This is just a memo away from reverse splitting, then you can short it. So let's just put this down. I don't want to waste too much time on this. There's not much happening. Whether or not you can trade it today or not, I mean, this is what it looks like. Basically nothing for an hour. I would stay off of it, but Smile Direct. Basically, we talked about this with COSM and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
You want to wait for the notice of reverse split, which it will do, and then it'll be back up probably to $4, and then you just short it again. So this Smile Direct Club definitely in a world of hurt. And again, without talking about the reason why, because I don't like, it went from $1 here to $2, and then it's just been going straight to the downside. So I would say you stay away from this, man. Like anything below $1, unless you know something, or
the thing about those plays is
too risky.
Yeah, when you're trading below $1, like either you know when a press release is coming out, or you have you've done a boatload of research on the balance sheet, and you have a line on why you think the next earnings might be better. Like, you have to know something, or you're just strictly playing like some kind of technical bounce play. So one of my favorites is if it consolidated and broke down at 50. Just look for a potential bounce off the quarter, which is like if it gets down to 25 and holds 20, 25 long, 20 stop, and then maybe look for a bounce into 40 or 50. That's just because a lot of penny stocks will do that from time to time. But the second you brought it up, I was like, Smile Directs? Like, I knew it was bad, right? Like, I knew the stock. I didn't think the stock was up.
I didn't even think it was.
I didn't realize it was a penny stock.
No.
That's crazy. But this is a lot of things right now. Speaking of, you mentioned COSM just now, but I did take a leg out of. Hit enter twice there. Amazon's got some size on the offer. I just randomly was flipping past it, and this was still on Amazon. It's got 150,000 on the offer at 85 now, but I just took a leg out of COSM because it's now barcoding off of 830. So I am short this thing at about 855, and it just keeps on holding this 830 level. The reason that's significant is because it closed pre-split at 33 cents. Which is effectively $8.25. So every time it gets here, it feels like there's a bit of a buyer, or that's what happened in the pre-market as well, at the open as well. So it needs to break this channel down, then I'll get a bunch more out. But I am in COSM. I've been basically only shorting it today, but I didn't have that short at 11, which I wish obviously I had. Just going back over to a couple of other names there. I wanted to get over to AMC because the market's starting to bounce a little bit, and it's bouncing back toward 5. I'm very likely to take one last reload in front of 5 even, but if this breaks 5, I'm definitely getting out of Dodge as the market is trying to bounce off these lows, and we're making a higher low here in AMC after all.
Yeah, hit the like button, guys. We're sitting here putting on some trades. Guys, gals, traders, hit the like button, please, and thank you for that as we get the YouTube algorithm busy to work. And then hit the subscribe, and then hit the share. Go for the trifecta right there, and you'll be rewarded, like I said earlier. But all right, so just quickly here, just in case you guys are looking at it, Amazon, we are still short it, but again, we got to get out of the names. When they perceive themselves as possibly turning around. So I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but here's the 50 period. Look, represent, kept bouncing. We're right here right now. Instead of re-shorting this at these levels, I would much rather wait. Again, like we said, we've picked on VWAP here. We've picked on the 200 period. So I think that a short in here is much better than risking anything right now. So we are 76 cents in the money. And we're going to take a piece out if it takes out 20 again here. I'm not even going to, it's right at 10 now. That's where the 50 period is. But I'm going to absorb that right there at 85.20. So another piece out of Amazon. We're going to get half of what we have left if it does take down 85.20. So just a quick update on that. And then Microsoft was getting close to coming out. And look where this is now. The 50 period is right at 239.40. Remember, it was up here at 60s. It's come back in, so we're going to get out if this breaks 40. So just giving you guys a quick update. Some of these shorts are going to come out, and I would go long, but I mean, I don't think the market's a long, so I'm going to stay away from that. We still are below the 50 period right now. If I do get ticked out of some of these trades, so be it. That's what we want. I mean, that's what I'm here for, right? To get out. Get in when I think the ins are there, get out when I think the outs are there. So that's going to come out there. And then just an update on Tesla. This is like very tempting, man. Like we just bounced off 149 after taking 150. We just retraced back to oops, I don't want that way. Back to 150 again. So you can see, like, I would much rather this name up to 151, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I mean, it's a nice move to the downside now, heading into the close of the market. The NASDAQ is again at their lows. So I don't know. I've already got 2 big shorts on. I don't want to have another one here right at 150. So this is going to have to work its way high side.
It's too cold for shorts.
Yeah, it's too cold for shorts unless you're Randy wearing jorts around here.
We missed a super chat from your namesake here, so I want to make sure we get to this because it was Shawn Murphy here sent us a $2 super chat. We thank you very much for sending. We don't ask for it, but we're happy to answer questions. And he's asking about VKTX, which that's a stock I was trading a bunch, so I don't mind talking about it. I have had several trades on this today. I was short pretty successfully early on, reloaded at VWAP, no good. I tried a long break at 7. It went 20 pennies, which is obviously not that exciting. Then the stock went 20 cents. And then I jumped back in. After it didn't work, I'm like, oh, I'll just short the 7 again. But now it's almost like a waste of time. I think it needs to retest this 720 that it failed at again. And at that point, maybe jump to the downside before it's going to go anywhere. I keep thinking it's going to flush into VWAP because when I look at what's going on in Madrigal, which MDGL, by the way, this is the leading stock. This is the one that had the phase 3 study that's actually holding up higher. This is up, putting up a lower high up 250%. And until this moves, you might not see too much happen over in VKTX, which is up on sympathy. So I'm either looking for this to make a run at the high, and then maybe there's a fade off the high there, and I'd short VKTX, or this breaks down and then jump into a short in VKTX. But as it goes sideways at the 7 level, I've stopped trading it until it makes a move.
All right, Amazon back below sub 85. Okay, so I didn't know this, so it's up to you. I'm not putting you on the spot or anything like that. What do you think Oxy's PE is?
Occidental?
Yeah.
Oxy's the one I don't really know. I trade Oxy. I have no clue.
Yeah, well, it's 5. So, I mean...
Yeah, but I think oil stocks...
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're looking for some value out there...
Yeah, but Micron's PE is fantastic, and that's...
Yeah, but you want to diversify your portfolio, is what I'm trying to get at here with some oil.
More chips is probably
not to put in more of the problem that I already have with NVIDIA and things like that. So the only reason I bring that up is... Yeah, it's literally 5.25. So the reason why I bring that up is okay, so if you're going to trade on PEs, 5 is pretty low. I'm still waiting for that website.
Okay, but what's CV?
I should probably, CVX and all that? Yeah, I don't know what those are at. Like 10. XOM is probably around 8, would be my guess for XOM. Here, let's do it live on the show.
Yeah, 10, 8.5.
Is it? My guess was literally 8. Oh, wow, 8.5. What's another
one, like Devon, maybe?
Yeah, they're all all there.
The
reason why I want to do this is, look, Oxy's a little different than many of these companies, but you did have, it was just such a monster run. But remember, we still have Uncle Warren in these, or is it Grandpa Warren at this point? But you're down. Obviously it would be $55. Like at some levels here, Oxy's a buy with oil still being, I know oil's down, but I mean, it's still a big part of the economy. There's no doubt about that. And then you're going to have, winters here, but, I feel like there's some of that hasn't even really been felt yet. So I'm looking at Occidental here as a possible longer term buy. I mean, I know it's starting to go upside right now, and I don't really know why. We'll check out oil's close now at 230 there, but nice little upside move there for Oxy just happening now, bouncing off 6180, 6190. I can't say that I'm against this. I need some more energy stocks. Like I'm in XLE, which is pretty much 40 or 50% of XLE is Chevron and ExxonMobil. So I'm basically in those names. But yeah, Oxy, very attractive at some of these levels. As there goes Amazon right now back to day's low for Amazon. So although we continue to hold this, we've already given you some targets on where we want to get out. But right now, it's even coming even lower now. I'm thinking 85.10, like I was up here at 85.20, but there it is right now, making new lows as we speak on Amazon and on Microsoft's still there as well. Oh, a name that Neil and I are, I don't want to say you're still in, are you? No, you got out, but.
I got stopped on
CEI, yeah. So I was going to look at this. My stop was a break at 10. So I went long at 10.1 there. Able to make it back. My average price is just over 12 cents. So you're only going to see it as 12 cents there, but it's 12.2, sorry. So I am out a penny and a half right now or so on this, but this is what we've done, the damage we've done on Camber so far. We went long early. We were able to get out a little bit. This is on the 14 break. So we got a 15 out, but that was like 10%. Then it came all the way back down, and then we bought 11s, which was good because then it came back to 13. So this is what I'm saying. Like we're able to make money on these. This is, you have to have your scalper hat on, right? So there it is, right back here up to 13 outs. So again, that's good. And then right here again, trying to test it at 10, and there's another out. But hopefully this name can get going into the end. This was one of those names that, of course, was pumped up like crazy by a group we don't need to mention right now that is basically, I guess under arrest, or
I
they
don't
have
know
an SEC.
what's happening.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that to everybody. You guys can look it up. But it's the Atlas group there that apparently was pumping this stock, and I'm just repeating what's already out there.
But the news, of course, with CEI is that there is. So after what happened with COSM, they decided that why would they wait around for the reverse split? Like if a stock's going to go up a couple 100% or whatever nonsense COSM did, then why wouldn't they just do theirs early? So as of Wednesday, they are doing a 1 to 50 reverse split. So that's why it's up today. That's why it's moving. I had the same. I had long, but my stop out was 11. That's the difference. So I stopped out in this. I'll probably take, if it's above 10 cents. I'll probably take a shot at this tomorrow, I think, if anything before the split. And then for the 2 days after the split, I'll probably be looking for shorts, the same way I'm looking for shorts over there in COSM. To come back into one name that I did not go over, I am still in a firm, by the way. Actually, it was a new trade in a firm. But when the market was bouncing earlier on today, sometimes you just say, okay, well, what's a crappy stock? And if you're looking to, if you're not short something already, because I missed the 10 break on a firm, I just said, okay, well, the bottom here on Friday was at 975. If it bounces, let's short it at 975, and then I was reloading in the 50s. It's back toward low of the day. Once it breaks the low, I'll start getting out again. I should say if it breaks the low, I'll start getting out again. I'm not certain about anything except the fact that I have to stay black and die, apparently, at some point. But if it gets to $9, that's where I think it should be headed. Down 6.5% into a market that's down 1.6. I mean, we were just talking about valuations, right? I mean, what do you think a company, if we're talking about valuations that are too high, things like NVIDIA and whatnot, well, what happens to companies that aren't making money in this environment? And that's why it's down 6.5%, and we'll be picking on it to the short side. But there was one point that got made in the chat that I think we should probably say. Oxy, yes, better PE, but it doesn't pay a dividend, or I think a very small one compared to like CVX gives you a great div, Devon gives you a good one, and XOM. That's how do I forget?
They're all there. I mean, it's just a matter of what your investment, portfolio looks like, and if you have too many dividend stocks, then not a great thing. But in this environment, not bad to get paid to wait around for a little bit. Okay, we'll ring the oops. We'll go like this, because we are ringing the temporary register right now on Amazon. I still have a very, very small piece left. I've canceled my stop orders now, but I still have the one at 85.50 for the last piece. That makes sense to me to get that out, I guess, there as a last piece out for Amazon. But there it is. We just got a piece out at 80. Like if you zoom this back out, it was too good to not get this. We stepped it out there at 85, and then I would just feel sick if it came back up and I missed out getting 84 or 85, 84, whatever I got right there. So we did take that bottom. It double bottomed right there, and then again, so that's the first bottom. There's the double bottom. So I was just like, hey, if it retraces back up small 5 cents, I want to get out. So that's literally, as my kid said, exactly what we do. So we take a piece out right there on Amazon. Now we hold a small piece to see about, you know, some of these levels. I think this is pretty smart of us.
Is this seller again at 85?
Oh, what the hell? Oh, I just got it on Microsoft. So there it is right there. So we are completing the trade right there on Microsoft. For me, that's, I mean, that's a good trade. Like, that's 241. I'll tell you exactly what we just got out of that one right there. $1.87 on that last piece of softy as it's now starting to break up. So yeah, there's a lot of retracement happening right now. So I'm pretty happy getting out of all of these. And yeah, pretty clean trade right there on a lot of these names. Maybe we are starting to retrace. The 50 period right there broken on the NASDAQ. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with getting out of a lot of these trades. There goes CEI, by the way. I just took another piece out at 11. We got 10.98 or something there. All this trading is pretty much free. When you're sub $1, a lot of the trading is free. So I hope that's happening for you guys as well. So not having to pay too many fees, just getting back and forth.
The execution fee, yeah.
Sorry, yeah, the execution fee, yeah. So like whatever kind of, you know, $10 a trade. Hopefully you're not getting dinged on that right here for CEI. But again, average back in at 10, out at 11. Look, my average price is still 12. It was 12.2. So until we get to 12.2, I'm not making any money on this trade. So just getting out. We only have an hour and a bit left. I hope CEI can go, man. But if it doesn't,
I'll be back with it tomorrow.
At least we're taking some profits right now.
It's
well,
in play. Profits. It's in play till that split. But there was a question.
Tesla's going.
There was a question in the chat. Someone asked us if either you or I have pets. I kind of just answered in the chat. I do not, but Shawn and Brendan are both have pets. Randy as well. I think basically just everybody on the team has pets except for me.
I even have an axolotl.
It was a random question. I just figured I'd answer that.
Go to my Instagram if you want to see pets, because they're all over there. So I have cat, dog, axolotl, two kids, 3 kids. You know, axolotls are. You know the thing about axolotl?
It was more that you could just.
I always throw Baxter under the bus. I always.
Like, I got 2 cats.
But I got to shout out to Baxter, man. So he took my 10-year-old out on Saturday because he wanted to have like a boy. They've obviously grew up together. Baxter's in university now, but they went to Snakes and Lattes in downtown Toronto. He took them to this VR place, and then it was literally my kid's best day ever, is what he said. So big shout out to that. And a shout out to everybody who's part of, you know, this is the time for family.
Yes.
I mean, we just talked about it. Even on the weekend, I drove, like you were mentioning there, it was in Mississauga, Brampton, where you're from, but I had to go from Toronto in there into Mississauga back. It wasn't that far.
Half an hour drive from me.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, you know, back and forth just to see friends for a little bit of time. And I think spend as much time with your loved ones
this is the time
as you possibly can. But okay, back over to trading as we are entering the power hour.
Almost.
Right now.
So like there was just another push to the upside on COSM. Lower high got put in, but every time it gets back to this 825, I feel like I should be trimming it and then giving myself an opportunity to get a better price if it comes back up to 880. So I'll go ahead and do that. Amazon, I'm stopping 85.20 and trying to risk 30 cents on that one to the south side. And look, Affirm, AMC, both those still heading to the downside as far as I know. I did trade.
Here we go.
I see SLNOs making another run at the high of the day. I had this long. Oops, I got to zoom out. I had this long originally off the $2 level, up to 240. I tried to hold out for it. It bounced a VWAP there. But if this takes out 250, this one could really run. If you look at the daily chart, this is 250 on the daily. Pretty significant level up there on SLNO. If it gets to 250, watch out for a nice break. You know what? As I talk about this, I might just grab something. If I can get 2 quarters in this tight consolidations, it's putting up higher lows. Why wait for it to break? Actually, because that's what I did. Like, I actually got some at $2 when it was still consolidating before the run. I might do the same thing at the quarters here. SLNO is very, very strong here. And I'm glad you mentioned it because this is one I was trading a lot earlier.
All right, 132.5. I'm just going to check out this Apple trade here. So I'm got new position alert right now. Let's slap that on. We are now short Apple, and there it is, instantly in the money, 20 cents on this short. We just missed it on VWAP right there, 132.80. We are now short Apple. So let's see if this one wants to work now to the downside. We've already hit Apple once. We were already short at this level before. So we already hit this. We covered it at 132 flat. I mean, this was about 70 cents worth of a short right there for Apple. We'll reshort it right now, and there it goes. Down goes Apple right now. So we'll see if we can take a little piece out of this one. You know, in the 30s would be pretty good. A little bit lower than this would be nice for Apple bouncing off the 50 period. We're just going to try to scalp it out right now, but that's Apple. Our big one, man, we just got a piece out of Amazon, but look where this is coming back into. Look at these trades on Amazon today, guys. Initial short right there. Boom, $2 in the money. We reshort Amazon right there. This is boom, boom. Now we're back down into the money again on this trade. So some nice shorts. Anything purple on our screen are shorts. So this is a short. You can see at the bottom, short Amazon, short Apple right now. And they're both trying to pay. There's Apple right there. Let's go. Nice little move to the downside for Apple. We just put this on. So we'll take 25 cents right there pretty quickly, and now we'll see if Apple does have a move back down to the downside. I'm staring at 132 here for Apple, but we just put it on. It's 30 cents right there. So without any further ado, let's go over to Brett and see what else is popping off.
Nice bounce here for some crypto-related stocks. Here's BTB, the first one to pop up here on a volume scanner, guys, back to $9. Bitcoin itself trying to make a move back above that high from this morning, 16,500. After testing that low for the second time. But anyways, crypto stocks starting to go.
Okay. They're starting to go, but I took Amazon on the 85 break. It was pretty clean. It never broke the quarter back to the upside. It just made a fresh low at the quarters beneath 85, so I took a leg out there. I got a bid in front of 84.50, and then I'll have a bid in front of 84.25, and then 84 even. So nothing too cryptic about those moves. Only long position that I have on. It feels like this was the way it was this morning too. I got the SLNO. I said, why am I waiting for it to break the high and get to 250 if what worked before was taking the consolidation? So I did grab some shares here at 28 in front of 225. It's still trying to take out that high here. If it's going to make a run to 250, might as well get in halfway, see if I can't fade into the level, and then cause them right back to that 825. That's working out. Tesla on that last little market flush, still above 150, believe it or not. So yeah, like I expected as the market was making a fresh low that I'd be looking at a Tesla short at like 49 or something and giving it to 150. But the fact it wants to hold 150 with the market making a fresh low, I guess I'll stay away from Tesla for now. I have enough short positions on that I think will be okay at this point without having to fight Tesla too much. Surprising to me that it actually is at 150 still.
I just, yeah, good. Tesla, I'm surprised too. Like when you said where Tesla was, I was like, okay, it's definitely sub 150.
Gotta be, right?
But all right, so here's another trade that we've been making today as well. AMD, short. So we started long, then we went over to the short. Look where AMD just stopped at. Like if this is not, you know, the turn right there, 64.60, like goes all the way up, stops at 64.60 there. That's kind of a fluke. I don't see any reason for that. But then it did it again. Right there. It went right back to that level again and then dropped 20 cents. So I'm thinking about a long here if the market goes, breaking that one top, two top, three tops, four to the upside right there.
Five
if
tops,
it goes,
tops,
yeah,
seven tops,
8 tops more. But I mean, how many times are you going to keep on going back and forth? I'm looking at AMD to break that. We do have some support here as well below. So even if we do break, I think we can get out of trouble like for 30, 40, 50 cents on the downside. So I'm looking at this break right here for AMD. And again, this is what we do on the show. You know, we talk about risk management. We say, you know, if you take this break, this is kind of where your support's going to be, right? So I'm looking at AMD to take that level right here, 64.60. If it does that, we are going to be long, but still hold on to the shorts. Look at Amazon right now. We'll hit a siren. Amazon starting to break lower. Lower, man. Just keeps on going. We're in this short. We're $1.30 in the money on Amazon. And I actually like this trade. We've talked about it. It's on the sticky note right here. You can follow those trades and our watch list. By the way, our watch list now, 35,000 and counting. So, hey, grab that for free. Watchlist.tradertv.live. Don't miss out. You know, you have that feeling like when you're not at the party, what are you missing?
It's called FOMO.
It's called FOMO.
You don't want the FOMO.
And maybe we should do a video on FOMO. We could probably do that. All right, Brendan, over to the big desk. What you got?
Just seeing a note on SBF here once again, guys. Looks like he will go ahead and waive extradition hearing or waive the. Remember, he was appealing it to get sent back to the U.S. He's going to go ahead and waive that. They were waiting this morning, if you remember, on actually seeing the charges. Apparently, they haven't seen the charges yet, but I guess he's going to go ahead and waive that. So SBF on his way back to the U.S., apparently. JPM here, I just noticed as well, trying to bounce off where it closed on Friday. So green to red possibly here for JP Morgan as some of the banks fade off.
Yeah, look, the banks had been, I guess, relatively strong, but
that was a good segue. Sam Bankman-Fried right into the banks. You see how professional Brendan is? Like, he's making that switch. Like,
only the banks.
I'm thinking Coinbase. Let's talk about some crypto.
Well, the thing about a bank, though, is, and the difference between them and Sam Bankman-Fried is they don't actually keep their books on Quicken.
Yeah, good one. I like that. That was a funny one.
I have nothing against Quicken, obviously, but
Yeah,
I understand Quicken has its uses.
Everyone's got to have an accounting software.
I mean, accounting for trillions of billions of dollars is probably not the way to go, but what the heck do I know? Apparently, yeah, just stay away from that kind of nonsense. But
we do have Apple. Yeah, whatever. I mean, we'll keep going. Coinbase,
it's such a mess.
We've talked about shorting Coinbase forever. Like when Coinbase was at $80, it was a short. So what's it at 35? You know, I mean, some of these PEs need to get in check. Look at Apple again. So Apple, we just took that short right there at 132.50. It just bounced again. Like this is the third time it bouncing at 132 flat. So I'm, you know, like it makes just too much sense for me just to get out at 132. So if it can take that one more time back to the downside, I think we shouldn't look 50 cents in the face here.
I just got corrected.
We're entering power hour.
It was QuickBooks.
What did you say? Quicken?
I said Quicken. I mean,
what the hell isn't it? I don't know. Is that the same thing?
Distinction without a difference there.
Oh, you know why? Quicken, I think, got bought out by Rocket Labs.
No, I think look, it is a
mortgages.
difference. But like, for the principle is exactly the same. That's what we're getting at here, is that it was completely nonsensical. But look at Silvergate, down 8% today. How have I not shorted Silvergate once today? If I don't at least pull up a chart and think about shorting Silvergate tomorrow, I'm slapping myself in the face. It's just been so good, and then what do you get? You get a channel bottom break here at 1750, or you get a, well, I guess you probably don't get a short up 19, but you did get a channel bottom break 1750, goes to 1650, and then my chart crashed. That was weird. Okay, just give me a second here.
And then there was one. Okay, yeah.
That's how bad the stock is. It's like we can't show that one.
It doesn't even want you to talk about it.
That was crazy.
All right. You know what's starting to get going here? All right, Camber. I see you, Camber. I see you. All right. So I'm in the high 11s, in the 80s. So, you know, we can get back and forth on this one. Like I'm just trying to like sort of lick some wounds here. We do have some nice bids down here at 10 cents. Took one at 10.70. Took one at 10. But that just follows some of these other trades that we had earlier, including this trade, which was a 14 break. That's really where the trouble started. Then we had an 11.70 average. There's a 10. I don't know why I picked 11.70 and 10.70, but I did. And then I had to buy the bottom of 10. So hopefully with another half penny, fingers crossed. The problem is half penny is like 5% of a move. So, you know, it still needs to have a move. But, you know, if we get back up there near that 12, we will start to empty out the clip a little bit. And then if Camber wants to give us I'm down on it today. Not really, but as I keep getting out now, I start to get down on it. So we'll see here. As you can see, our average price is 12. It was 12.2. It's now 12.1 because we took that out. But if we can come back up, we're waiting at that 200 period, and then at 12 to get out of some more. So just a quick little update there on Camber. I did want to get back in. Tesla's now below 150. So
yeah, Amazon made another low, so I got another leg out there on Amazon. I keep trying to clean these wicks up, but every time I do, my chart does what happened to SI there. But we talk about the winners and the losers, and SLNO, at least it wasn't a high break, but I did load. I did grab that 225. It took out that channel. Looks like it might be headed down into VWAP. I think it might be a bit of a long off VWAP. But if it can make a bounce off too, I might just re-enter the trade. back up at 15, but I had to have a stop. It put in a wick high, tested the high of the day, and then slammed down, so I am going to be out of that, which is better than taking it up at the high for a break. Save yourself like 10 cents on a $2 stock, but I am now out of that one. Still holding firm on the shorts. I almost said holding firm on a firm, but a firm just bounced off its low of the day, $9.38 at the same time the market did. So what I'm going to do is get a little bit more out here right in front of 40s. Just if it's going to keep bouncing off the low after that little flush, then I'm going to take some out. Right, like we're short off VWAP here, so if it's not going to make a fresh bottom, then we're going to give it a chance to maybe give us a range-bound trade, which might just be shorting 950s on a pop or maybe 955s, which you want to pay yourself out. Someone just said in the chat, it might be like not power hour, but like barcode kind of hour. And if that's the case, if the market just barcodes on the bottom, then you want to be scalping. Get some out at the low of the day if you're short. Take some more if it bounces up to next consolidation, like a 950 or resistance or VWAP or something like that. So that's what I'm looking to do here. And someone's saying it's Camber, not Camber. I don't
Camber,
know.
yeah.
Camber energy. That's what we keep saying, right?
I thought so.
I think we
thought
say
I knew-
Camber. I thought we get that one right.
We might have been mispronouncing.
Because when it first started moving, I know I was pronouncing it. I thought that's the one I was getting incorrect. But
Who said it? Me?
I thought you said it. You were saying it right. Maybe I said it wrong, and someone was correcting me. But
Maybe.
someone also just said, look at GameStop. I don't know. I'm short AMC because it's moving today. GameStop, I suppose, down 4%. Trying to figure out why I want to look at it. You know what? I guess if you had, look, the trade here was probably it breaking $20, and then you could have scalped that, but now it's barcoding off the 20 level. That looked like it was pretty good, though, when it broke 20 even at like 11:30. I suppose it looks like it's putting in a higher low and could break a channel up. I just don't know what the catalyst, like the setup looks pretty good for a break at 2020. I just don't know what the catalyst for it to go higher would be at this particular point. Brendo.
Just seeing a note here for Tesla, guys. Appears to have stopped taking customer orders in the U.S. for all models and now directs buyers straight to the current inventory page on their website. So with Tesla, it's like buying a phone. You just go to the website and order it on their website. There's also a new banner on the U.S. site that says take delivery of a new Model Y in December of 2022 for a $3,750 credit. So there was a little volume there downside on Tesla. Apparently, they want you to buy what they've already made instead of ordering one specifically.
I see how it is.
I
just
see.
buy a Lucid.
Oh yeah, let's go over to that.
Well, you said it, but you didn't actually show anybody. You realize that, I think. You said it this morning.
Oh, this?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
You guys were referencing Lucid,
There
by
you
the
go,
way,
here.
is down. He's getting crushed, by the way, but anyways.
Yeah, so I was at the Lucid dealership in Sherway. What? 350 likes on this?
They like Lucid.
Okay. Oh yeah, by the way, so there's a lot of see how my shoes are untied? I'm trying to be stylish. I know my shoes are untied.
I was
this
going
one's
to say something at the
also
party
untied.
because they were
No,
untied. They were untied at the party, and at first
man,
I was like,
it's trying to be.
should I say something?
No,
or?
you should not. I'm trying to be ultra cool and have that. So I actually walking through the mall, got some compliments on the shoes too. So anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, there it is, Lucid. Wow, thanks for all that. No, I didn't buy one. But it was pretty good. They had one in there. I'm not even sure what the model. There was quite a bit of people in there in the Lucid showroom. But yeah, it was really fun. I'm looking to maybe get an electric car. I don't know which one it's going to be, but this was really fun. And in the mall, they had a VinFast, which is that new one. They had a Tesla store. They had a Lucid store. And I think a GGPI, which Polestar, now it's not GGPI, but that's what it was as well. But there's Lucid right there. And a lot of people like those cars, but I think it was like 160,000 or something Canadian. So a little bit expensive PSNY for Polestar.
Yeah, because that's facts.
Okay, so that was fun. Wow, 300 and wow. Okay, I got to do some more random stuff like that. But okay,
Lucid Air. Yeah, we know it's the Air, but
yeah, it was. I don't know. I just didn't know if it was the Dream Edition.
Right.
That's what I wasn't sure of. Yeah, it is the Lucid Air. Okay, Camber just went up, and we took a little bit of advantage of that. I said I was waiting at 1180, but when we spiked to 50 there, I had to take something out. So a little bit more out there. Again, just small, like 10%, literally 10%, 5% twice there. When these stocks are trading like this, It's kind of like I'm just trying to lick the wounds a little bit on this name. I do like it, but I don't know if we're going to get going, man. It's 77% up. We do know the news is coming, or did come out, about the reverse split, so that's going to happen soon. But there it is, CEI with a nice little move to the upside. Look at this. Like, this is layered right now, right? So it's probably the same trader just looking to get 10,000 times a couple of orders.
I hate when people do
Yeah,
that.
so we'll see right now. It's battling, and then you got, there you go. I don't know if they just got filled. I mean, all this size doesn't matter. Are we?
So there's that. So you know
are we
what?
gonna do 1 billion shares?
Do you know what that actually is? When you see that, there's there's certain types of orders that you can put out there, which will, if you say I want to, it depends on who you trade through, but you can say I want to buy 100,000 shares, and what it'll do is instead of just putting it all in one book, it'll just throw it out on multiple gateways, but sometimes it'll do it in that kind of a fashion. Now, we don't trade that way, but if you see that, a lot of times it can be a legitimate order, and it's one person that wants to buy a bunch, and they're using kind of like an algo to get into position. And it's like you hit a key, and then it decides where to throw it, what venues to throw it out there. So it's kind of like a human trader, but it's kind of not as well. So it's a bit of a hint as to the type of user that might be making that buy there. On Camber. Someone keeps asking about Roblox, and all I will say is $28 if it gets there tomorrow, or well, if it gets there this afternoon. I don't think it will. I'll be all over it. I traded it at 28 on the afternoon show on Thursday, and that was the one where like I got out of it, and then like 5 minutes later it actually made a move to the downside, and then 28 was the top on Friday, and then 28 was the top this morning in the pre-market, and each time you've had a pullback to around 26.5. So that's a good short level, but it also sets up for a bit of a, okay, hold the low, consolidation break to the upside, which is pretty much just as valid if you're just waiting around till tomorrow for that trade. So yeah, there you go, Roblox. I like that 28. It's still going to be good. This market is now tanking. Amazon breaks 84.50. I'll get a bid out in front of that. Probably 84.25 somewhere as that continues to head back into the downside. Affirm as well. I mean, obviously the market's at lows. I was able to get another bid down there at that low. I got a few more bids on the way to 9 even, as that looks like it'll continue to flush. I mean, it's the same thing over here with Intel. Although Intel needs to break 26.50, and it's making a double bottom as well. 26.45, I think, was a low on Friday, so it might have some trouble as the market cracks the low of the day. This is kind of, it's a whole lot, like if you're short something right now, like you're just managing the trade. And then I'm looking for things that might have relative strength that I can take the long in, but it's not like there's a lot out there. So it's a hold on to your short kind of afternoon. I got 5 of them and just working them all out.
Yeah, the Santa Claus rally is going to have to happen after Christmas, I think. There's Steve G. I feel like we have, I mean, it could have happened, but unfortunately, you know, we did get that rate increase of 50 points, which I thought was expected. And, you know, the market just continues to bleed downside after that. Despite oil still being pretty down, CPI, you know, better prints, everything like that. Mortgage demand getting a little bit better as well. And then the mortgage rates fell again, I think it was last week or the week before. So, you know, things are getting better, but unfortunately by the tone and sound of my voice here, it's not getting better anytime soon for anybody that's long. On that note, man, and we got a pretty trade on board here. Like Neil just mentioned, took the words right out of my mouth. It's all about managing trades at this point, right? And I mean, like I have this Apple short. We reloaded it at VWAP at the 200 period. So here we go again, another one here for Apple. 70 cents in the money for Apple, $1.40 in the money for Amazon. And let's just look for some more. I would love to, look, we got out of Microsoft when it broke right there. Microsoft is still in this area. So I don't feel too bad about getting out of it, although it was a 39.50. You're at 39.20. I don't know if, I don't really want to trade this until we break that bottom of 38.70, 238.70, sorry. So once we break there, then I think we can go back to Microsoft. But until then, I feel like we got to stay away from it. I would love to do Tesla, so it's just, it's not moving. Like, again, someone said it just for a joke, like we're entering Power Hour. Thanks to Bears vs. Bulls, by the way, man. You're doing a fantastic job, and I want to thank you for that and in your continued support. But someone said Bears vs. Bulls mentioned Power Hour, and someone else said barcoding hour. Well, I mean, you know, it's not going to be that case for every stock, but for Tesla right now, it seems like at 151 to 150, can't really do much here. You are at some good levels. Any kind of a rip one way or the other way, I think needs to be traded. So if we take this 149, then I like the short, but until we do that, I'm gonna stay away from Tesla, but it needs a 149 break. Even that's 140, actually that's 149.20. I could deal with that. So 149.20 coming into play right now. I am going to take that short to match the Apple short. Apple bottom jeans. Well, let's see if we can get bottom now in Apple right now. Yeah, I don't know if Apple's wearing boots with the fur or not, but it is going to the downside right now, being weighed,
come on.
weighed down with the boots and the fur.
Apple got low. Like
Low,
that
low,
was
low,
that was a softball, man. And, well, everything's at the low of the day. But someone just mentioned plug power's on support. Some of my charts are, like my daily chart on plug power was looking a little bit unclean, so you can bear with me. This is my trade ideas scanner. So I threw it on here because this is support on the daily on plug 1275 here. You're seeing it break down. I didn't realize how bad this was. This is down 8.5% plug power today. Man, there's just a lot of things that are getting their butt kicked this afternoon. This is pretty much why we're shorting everything. That isn't the odd small cap making a bit of a move there. But you're right, it is at a key level. That's my daily, for some reason, isn't showing up. I just cannot bring myself to go long this support level at 1275 on plug. If it was the SSR level, that's 1260. I tend to like that better. Stocks usually, when they're close to 10% down, it just feels like they usually get there. And if it gets there, that's a much more interesting level for me. That's the same thing I'm thinking for AMC. If this continues to flush, the AMC level, I believe I said it was like $4.78. It's already bounced off that once. So that's kind of where I'm looking for this to get down to again, that 478. And this is not some kind of, like it's not a hard rule. If a stock gets to the SSR, like gets to 10% down, it's going to have a bounce. It just has to do with the mechanics of the trade. Like if it's down 10%, there's a decent chance it's hitting close to some oversold levels. You can't short you can't short by hitting the bid unless there's an uptick, which makes it more difficult for short sellers to initiate a position. People can get out of their longs anytime they want. So there's reasons why you get those bounces or why it would have gone off 478. And plug would do the same thing at $12.60. That's where I would be looking for a bounce play.
All right, like we just mentioned there, I just tweeted out the Apple trade as well. We're at the bottom. I know we're gonna have to get out at some point right now, as it is 3:10. We are looking for another trade. Look at. As soon as I just put the Tesla trade to break, and it just went to the upside. So maybe this is just not going to work out here. I feel like we got to wait for it. Okay, Trump Media direct messaging now available. Ooh, huh? DWAC direct messaging now available. Again, I don't believe I could.
What about them trading cards?
Where's my phone? I don't even know where my phone is right now. Anyways, I was going to check to download in the App Store.
Oh, did you really lose your phone?
It's probably over there where I was doing the trade of the day. But anyways, I was going to see if there is any. If you guys might be able to know if it's accessible here in Canada. That's all I was going to check. But apparently, just new technology allowing direct messaging right now. So I don't know. I think
the last time I checked, it wasn't there. But
you have the Android.
I have
store.
an Android.
Yeah, so I'll double check it. I don't think it's there either, but it doesn't matter. We're not. Trust me. I mean, Canada, although. Would be nice needle, not a mover, but we would definitely have people subscribe to it just for what's up. But DWAC today getting.
It's there.
Oh, it is there now.
Yeah. Is it
called The Truth though?
No, it's Truth Social.
Okay.
It's there.
Okay, so there you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, now
last time I checked, it wasn't
now
there.
available in Canada. I just want to say, look, it just went to $18 there and rejected. So that's really all that I was trying to call up here. Again, we treat these things as stocks, not as political discussions or anything like that. So we'll wait to see. Although I did see a rumor. Look, Twitter, you can post whatever the hell you wanted, but someone said, what if Elon Musk selects Donald Trump Jr. as the new CEO of Twitter? Then I feel like then we get political. I feel at that point, but that could be something there. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but that would be definitely interesting there if that ever happened. Oh yeah, that's right.
There's no way
he had those NFTs, Donald Trump. Forgot about that.
Well, technically, so they call it a digital trading card is what they were calling.
But isn't that what NFTs are?
See, but that's exactly. I think that's why there was confusion over it, because why didn't they just call it an NFT? But they didn't call it an NFT.
What is the reason for not calling it an NFT?
I have no idea.
Because NFT has such bad street cred right now.
Yeah, maybe it's because of what's been happening in crypto and NFTs and overall value of NFTs. That's why they called it a digital trading card. But we showed them off on. Oh, you weren't here on Friday.
Howdy, Silver.
We showed the picture off. on Friday. By the way, I just reloaded COSM. Like I said, if I get more shares out in front of 825, I'll go more short in front of 9. But it might break this 9 even. So if there's a short that's not working, of course it's COSM. Like, why wouldn't it be anything but COSM? Like, this is the one stock. It just feels like when it should go down, it wants to go up. But I just reloaded in front of 9 even. The market did try to make a little bit of a bounce here, but this is moving to the beat of its own drum. I wanted to show you guys Friday, just for anyone that didn't tune into this stock, yes, at 7 a.m. it was trading at 25 cents, and yes, it did get all the way up to $23. Every part of that, if you weren't watching this on Friday, every part of that was real. Arun was long at $3 and got out in front of 4. I was long at $4. I'm laughing because it's actually embarrassing. I was long at $4 and got out in front of 5, and then I shorted it at 8 several times. I shorted it at 12 several times. I shorted it at 14, and the only good thing about all of that is at least I was getting out with a reasonable stop each time. Otherwise, I probably would be taking today off out of absolute frustration. But yeah, this stock is going crazy. It's the reason people are looking at Caber, because it was a reverse split that was a little bit unorthodox in that a lot of trading platforms didn't have the correct pricing on it. You couldn't trade it on a bunch. So when it was trading in the pennies, I don't think everybody realized that they were getting 4 or 5 cents on the dollar at 7 a.m., which I've seen mispricing in the pre-market on splits and reverse splits before. I don't know that I'd seen anything this extreme, although one of our traders, Luca, was saying he knows somebody that said they've seen it 5 times. I don't know that I've seen anything this extreme 5 times. I've seen it happen before where you can get some free money in there. There was one time I was actually trading where there was a cash buyout deal, and it was essentially trading 25% away from what anything would have been a reasonable price at like 7:30 in the morning, and I was able to get shares. Every now and then you get lucky, but I've never seen anything like this, because you could have bought it at 40 cents when it had every reason to be trading at $6, and that would have been down. $6 was down 25%, and it was trading at 30 cents, which was ridiculous.
So I found my phone. I don't...
Was it up there?
I know I was with some of the trainees over there. I was talking to them earlier, and I just took the phone out of my pocket, but I don't see it. I don't see it on...
Oh, it's not on the Apple?
No, so I don't know.
That's weird.
We'll have to find out about that. I don't see it. Doesn't mean it's not there, but I don't see it. Okay, as we go... Oh, now Siri's trying to... No, Siri. Do not record my voice. All right, that's it. PLTR, yeah, no crap about Palantir. Wow, down to 650 today. Like, this name just keeps getting beat up, man. I mean, over and over and over again. Wow, yeah, well, 650 was the 52-week low. As you're now at, again, day's low. I don't know if... Like, I'm going to ask Brennan if we missed a story here. It's kind of a rhetorical question. I don't think we did.
You know... Go ahead,
did we on Thursday or Friday?
No, not that.
I wasn't here. That's why.
So when it was moving, I remember being like, oh, okay. But then so many things were moving. It's just,
yeah.
I feel like it's easy to have missed. But we did miss something last week. And someone brought it up in the chat that we didn't even talk. PaySafe had a reverse split. I don't think we said anything at the time. But it didn't pull a...
Amazon.
It obviously didn't pull a COSM PaySafe, but that stock, yeah, if you see it at $11, PaySafe had a reverse split. There's a lot of things in a market like this. You're going to see some reverse splits in the next, especially starting next year when some of these delisting notices start coming around.
Oh yeah, they're just getting going right now. But I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. Okay, Palantir caught a downgrade, fine. I mean, that seems to be par for the course for a lot of these names. But, I mean, this is another name. You guys know I do like this. I was initially in it at 9 1/4, whatever that, not IPO. What's it called when you don't IPO?
Direct listing.
You direct list. So there it is right there. Again, I don't know why like these charts just simply aren't working when I look back. So I can't...
Honestly, I might just start using my trade ideas for the daily chart.
I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that. Yeah. I mean, if we're not going to get daily information here out of this one, maybe I'll log out and back in. But yeah, I just took that out, 650 right there. So yeah, I mean, I'm a short. You know, you get up to 650, you got to short it again. So until it breaks back above, I think Palantir continues to be a short, which sucks because I have been buying some of these lows. So we talked about that the other day, that I was in it. Well, I just got some money into it about $7.50. So it's not good. Even $7.50. I mean, you're still down now 20%. Like, wow, it adds up real fast on a lot of these lows, a lot of these stocks. Another stock that just continues to pump lower and lower and lower is Amazon, but I am going to adjust my stop order. 84.80 right now. That's where we're going to get out as this comes back in. So I'm going to set this up 84.80. I mean, it's almost there right now. I'll do 86. Let's do a little bit higher than that just to get out if we have to. My previous stop was set at 85.20. So we were up here for that, but now we've come back in. So as this has fallen through, you could see I now just want to get out as we head into, again, you know, the last hour of trading. We're at the last hour of trading right now. 84.80 right there is going to be roughly my out for Amazon. That's $1.15 in the money. Apple's $1 in the money, and that's still going to the downside. I don't really have any targets for this. I think the market's going to continue to fail here into the close. So Tesla's still, man, I look back at it.
It's still at 150.
Like what?
I don't think you can.
It's not
it's just
even
not
moving
tradable.
right now.
You can't trade it.
150 top, 149.50 bottom. Like, I mean, it's great. It's a scalper's dream. It's just, do you want to put on that risk just to scalp it for 50 cents? Because your outs, my out would have to be up here about $1.50. So I don't know. Anyways, maybe I turn into a scalp here on this as Camber's still at 11.20 right now.
I just sorted my quote board to see what's actually green today. MDGL, that's the phase 3 thing. VKTX, that's the sympathy play. JD.com. So one of the Chinese names is actually held up in green. That'll be JD. Oracle's up. BAC. Boeing's having a strong day. I mean, things like Pepsi and JD. I don't even know why I have Pepsi on here because it's not a day trading stock at all. I just kind of keep it up because I own it. And then some of the energy names are flat. It's been that kind of a day here. And, you know, like I hate to say it, it's like manage your short positions, but it is worth noting Boeing is holding 185, right? Like it closed at 185 or 184.70, broke out there this morning, bounced off 185 once, bounced off 185 twice. Now it's testing back toward these lows, and if you go to the daily chart, oh look, that one's actually working out. If you go to the daily chart, this is what the channel it broke was 85. I'm missing a couple of days in there for some reason, but this is where it broke to the downside first. And now it's reclaiming some support at 185. So whether I get the trade here off bouncing off these lows or take it tomorrow looking for that 185 level, Boeing put it in the bucket of relative strength. I mean, it's not really saying much today, I suppose, Brendo.
Speaking of, there was a note that just came across there a couple of minutes ago on Boeing. Guys, U.S. Congress apparently set to extend Boeing 737 MAX cockpit alerting, wow, alerting deadline in the new latest spending bill that's coming across. So this goes back to that last extension that they were talking about going back a month or so ago for the safety features for that 737 MAX.
Look, man, I get the real verbal diarrhea every now and then too, but
I do that all the time.
I actually didn't I saw the volume spike on it. I'm glad Brendan brought that because that's what got my attention was the volume spike, and then Brendan, of course, Johnny on the spot or Brendan on the spot with the news there. Either way, I still like that.
Snoop on a stoop.
Snoop on a stoop. Oh, that's what I forgot to do. Oh
Brendan,
my goodness, I was gonna order one of those.
Brendan, I gotta have one for Brendan. Like Brendan.
You should
it has to
remind me.
rhyme. Like nothing rhymes with Brendan.
Why didn't you remind me to order this Snoop on the stoop?
Why didn't I remind you?
Yes.
I don't know. Message your wife, man. What do you mean? Why do I remind you?
It's so true.
I just go like, hey, Marissa, like, do this.
If we're trying to organize something, it's like if my wife doesn't get involved, like I will just forget to do it. Like if I don't go right now in the next 5 minutes and order that Snoop on a stoop, I'm not gonna get it. That's the problem. That's why I set alerts. Like I remember how many times before I would set alerts, how many times I'd be like, oh crap, this stock got to that level or that stock got to this level. Set an alert for it. Put an order out there so that you get a small position in if you wanted to take something in front of it. It's just whatever works for you to have a better memory when it comes to things like that. Like I'll never forget to set my fantasy lineup, but like something like, oh yeah, you're supposed to do this today, or you're supposed to order that, or you're supposed to pick up this. It's like you better send me a reminder because I'm not going to remember.
I like it. Yeah, well, here's a reminder. Do it. No, it might be too late now for Snoop on a
I'm not going to get it in time.
I would rather, I'm so frugal, I'll just get half price Snoop on a stoop after.
For next year. Yeah.
Yeah, and then, and if he's wearing new clothes, I'll put him in that. Make sure his laces are undone, of course. Okay, so we are now out.
I'm doing my laces up. I'm not getting on that.
Right now, Amazon right now out. So we just took it out. It just took the 50 period. We talked about getting that a little bit. So there it is right now on Amazon to the downside. So it's a nice trade. We just covered it. So, out there about a little bit more than $1, I think, on the end day of that trade. Again, Kamer's not doing anything, but I do have a new trade idea. I'm just looking at Apple to see where our out is for this one. Oh yeah, I don't have one. I mean, I do have one, but it's not. I don't even want to get out at 132. I feel like I want to be short this name, especially if the market does give it up, and especially because we just dropped off our Amazon. So I like Meta. Zuckerberg on a stoop here. 115, this take right here. So a little bit of a high. I got to edit the chart because, again, we have a bad wick, but I like this take right here, 115.11. If we can get back above, and I know it's been super choppy, but again, I don't get, it's right here. I don't get in it unless it breaks, so I don't have to worry about it. So if the chop stops, not bad, chop stop.
Chop stop.
Chop stop.
Chop shop.
If the chop shop stops, then we will say that a couple times fast right there. How much wood would chuck if woodchuck could chuck wood? You could say that as well. But I was looking at this 115.15 as a break. So that could be a long area, or you could go short there if you liked it. But I think just for pressure, I know Meta's down. I just thought if we do have a little bit of a run, a name that I would like to get long would be Meta, if that is in play there as well. So
Look, man, you can't run if your shoes are untied.
That's why I don't run. You know,
Fair enough.
It's a style. Look, I'm gonna find
my whole thing is like
I'm gonna find that shoe untied.
My whole life, I'm always like that person where, you know what, if ish hits the fan, or like we're always going like doing a lot of outdoorsy stuff. I tell my wife, I'm like, you know, if a bear comes when we're hiking or when we're going camping or whatnot, you know what's up. If I just got to take off and break away. Of course, I wouldn't do that with my family, but I always joke around saying I'll just take off and run, and then it's never going to be me. Like I'll George Costanza that bad boy so fast. That's why my shoes are tied, because I'm ready for anything, and usually my response is going to be to run away, because ain't no one going to catch me unless you're Usain Bolt. Or Fahad, because apparently he's faster than everybody.
I mean,
but just quickly here, guys, Kazem went right to $9, $8.99, and back to $8.50. So if you're not ringing the register on this, like it goes right to 9. It was a seller at $9. I grabbed some shares. I should have grabbed more, and it's right back into 8 even. At some point, if it continues to hold 8, just remember 8 to 8.25 is essentially support from when it was a penny stock before the pre-split. So if it doesn't break this, it's very likely it's going to break channel up. But this short has been working over and over again off of these levels. And I believe you about this.
No, because
you could trip on them. It's a hazard.
It was Ted. No, I'm only wearing it like that because of Ted Lasso. So I was trying to find it, and I can't.
Haven't seen that.
Yeah, no, you haven't seen Ted Lasso?
Which is crazy because I'm still paying for Apple TV. I bought Apple TV to watch one show, finished watching that show, and then I don't watch anything else. Although Brendan was telling me about another show to watch.
That's what we've got on right now. See, the laces are tied behind. You know, see, so it's about the style of the shoe.
You can just tie the laces, man.
Yeah, you could. I could do lots of stuff. But right there, that's what that is right now. Just what's up? Yeah, I'm going to do whatever Brendan says. He's the most stylish guy. All right, let's go. Brendan, yeah, I mean, Shawn on the lawn would be good. We got to have one for Neil. And then we got to have one for Brendan. I think we could sell those.
Someone's challenging Brendan to say a tongue twister. Brendan, I put it in the chat. Look in the chat and see if you can say that, because I'd probably screw it up. Anyways.
What? I never even heard of that one.
So basically, I've never heard it either, but if Brendan can get it, then you guys have to get us double the like count if Brendan can get this tongue twister that got put in the chat there. Do it for us, Brendan. When you're ready, let us know. But it's massaging the short day. But like you, I'm actually thinking about getting out of Amazon. That 85 break, the best it came to was 84.50. So I've moved my stop from 85.20 to break even at that. Well, it's not break even because I shorted 92s, but at 85 even. If it breaks 85, I'm crossing up to 85.22. I have the crazy wicks just like you do, Shawn, so I can't really clean that chart up. But everything else is pretty much cruising. Intel, ooh, maybe not. 3 times it's bounced off 26.50. I might just have to take this one. I'm not going to take it out, but I'll probably slap a trailing stop on this back at the 60 level. So this is short up at 26.90. Intel always seems to do this. It trades in these like 25 to 50 cent ranges. And so if it bounced off 50 this many times, I should make sure I lock in profit and not let it break 26.60 on me.
I'm just fixing my wick because we are about to get into Meta, it looks like. So that was a pretty good call. I just wish we would have gone long, of course, earlier when we made the call, but I don't want to get into it unless we do take it out. I am noticing that there is a wick higher here, 115.17, but that's still the same. So hopefully we could take that out on Meta, and then we can go climb to the upside a little bit here for this name. And it's come all the way back. I like it. I like this trade. If it doesn't work, we can use the 50 period as our out, 114.80. So that's about 30 cents worth of risk or so for Meta. But yeah, I like the trade here, breaking it higher. We just stopped again at one. I mean, so it's also setting up for a short. It's not that it's not a short. It's just like I'm wondering if the market does have a little bit of a rally back, at least to like this 11,220, something like that. Maybe 50 or 60 points up on the NASDAQ, just for the end of the day. That's what we're playing. And I mean, I know that Meta, you know, we can top off our day with this as well. And then if we properly manage risk, you know, like I said, 40 or 50 cents, I think we can go that far for sure. If we go at least to the 200 period, which gets me that 30 cents, and then after that, we'll deal with some downside. But maybe we just hit that level on the head there, and it was a short. So we'll wait for it, but that's the long that I like. Would like to get into some shorts. You mentioned Micron, AMD.
They report this week, actually.
Oh, did they report this week? Okay,
they're the last. I think they're the last major report. I think on Thursday, I want to say, because you get like, Nike is.
I feel like Micron's reported.
Nike's tomorrow, and then we get Tesla I think we get Micron. There's somebody else that I'm missing this week, but Micron breaks $50. Yikes! And again, there's another chart that's not going past June. I mean, not that it matters all that much.
What did Buffett buy? Taiwan Semi.
It was Taiwan Semi that Buffett bought, but Micron trades at a reasonable PE as well. Historically, it always has, because it's just a little more of a cyclical name, and that's how they roll. But if this breaks this channel, it's actually 51 down here. There's room to the recent lows back in September. So there's just so many beat up names. Man, these chips, they gave you the rally right into previous resistance. This went 50 to 65. And I know there was so many, I just talked about Intel going 25 to like 30. This made a move of a quarter, which is actually a little bit better. And then you're right back testing those lows the next earning. That's just how it is. General Mills is reporting, Zaharin putting it out in the chat. But it wasn't General Mills. It's something else that I'm forgetting that we get this week as well. But Nike's a big one, to be sure. That could get... What you care about with Nike is, let's see what's going on with their Chinese numbers. They're down 3%. And as a matter of fact, almost breaking channel down now, breaking 103. Oh, wow, this could get real spicy tomorrow. I didn't realize Nike was this weak, but I guess the market's pretty bad. But Nike already starting to break down here. That 103 was a pretty big break.
All right, so hit the like button. Thank you so much. Once again, we are still waiting.
Do it, Brandon.
I mean, I wish we weren't in this sort of back and forth here a little bit, but we are. So with that being said, we've already given a couple trade ideas. They just got to come through, and I'm on them. That's a break of this bottom of 149.15 for Tesla. That's coming in pretty close right now. Hopefully that can come through. We just saw Meta. Meta's going to come in right now, I'm sure of it, as we've just made a nice move up here in the market as well. Brendan just mentioned 300 to sell, or roughly 279 million to sell on balance for the closing trade. So we'll have a look at that. But we are getting close to getting into Meta. Again, a 115.15 break, and we're in that down to where we just stopped at right there. Like 80, 85, something like that. We've bounced off there a couple times. So let's see. I mean, we could run the top, then get run at the bottom. It's not going to be like a monster risk position, but I think it's one that we could put on a reasonable trade, something that we would have put on sort of early on Meta anyways, in case we get a big run. So let's have a look at Meta, a check back. We already talked about Tesla as a short. What else do you guys want to talk about right now? I'm trying to look at names that are like at or near 52-week highs.
There we go. So more
Disney.
More flush. Cause them down to $8. I got another leg out there. I'm just going to continue to cover this one in front of 8, because every time it bounces there, if it's going, like you said, if it's going dollar range, just take the buck if you can. And then I want to thank everybody in the chat for reminding me, it's FedEx. How did I forget FedEx? They're the ones, they're the big name reporting, and that's going to be a big bellwether for the economy. It's just, they're always a good bellwether type name. If they have a bad report, it can get pretty ugly. I want Tesla to move, but it just...
There's also Fuel Cell.
F-Cell's reporting too? Ooh.
I saw a couple names this week, yeah.
What's the short interest on that right now?
That was a name that I looked at, Fuel Cell, and was like, what is up with the price? $3 right here, Lucas?
Oh, it's only 11% short interest, 11. Thought it was
Yeah,
fire.
because everybody's short's probably covered. Like this is like just been an absolute nasty move to the downside for FSL. I mean, obviously on the 20 period we've been down here and we've even been lower. But some of these like names, I thought you've seen Enphase and some of these other names. We saw a name that used to be in that XL Fleet. They changed to SPRU. Like, you know, like what a move for Fuel Cell early on in the year, or sorry, this is not even this year. What am I talking about? That was last year, 2021, as we just ripped all the way back up to the upside. Of course, during COVID, some of these beatdown names definitely got going to the upside as everybody and their mother was trading them. And now FCell, you know, I mean, if you're not buying this name right here, like $3 right back into these bottoms, like that's another name. And shout out to everybody that's holding the bag like I am as well on Clover. That broke $1 today as well. I think we're at the bag on this like at $3 or $4.
Is there like a Chamath ETF that we?
Yeah, there should be a Chamath ETF for sure. You want to talk about
everybody's got one. Well, I shouldn't say that, but it's like,
PayPal.
you know, usually everybody's got one of his that they're still holding on to a little piece of, depending on what it is.
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know.
the way the SPACs...
Little Virgin, little Clover, little whatever.
The way the SPACs were moving around, there's so many of them that just got thrown onto the
Show
market.
me a SPAC in the money.
With all...
Well, you know what?
Mobileye was not a SPAC. That was...
DWAC's above $10. So.
DWAC?
But it never. But it actually.
But DWAC's
the deal,
still like...
The deal. It actually hasn't done the deal. Like it hasn't. They got another delay. But technically speaking, it's above.
Yeah, but I mean, people
above
put. I mean,
$10.
put in the chat if you're actually. I mean, you can't. I don't. Can you be in the money on DWAC? I don't think you really can be.
Well, it depends.
I mean,
no, there's prices you could have bought that you could be in the money. I mean,
I mean, lately you.
Not recently. No, not recently. But you could have this.
No, but I don't think you're in the money on DWAC. Like, unless you literally had it.
That's what I'm saying. Unless you had it essentially before.
So unless you had inside information, you're
before
not.
the deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So unless you had insider information, you cannot be in the money on DWAC.
No. But there's other.
I mean, unless you bought 16. I mean, you could be. You did.
Like barely.
It did. Now, yeah. Anyways. All right. So I think
I can't
there
even
must
call
be a SPAC. I mean, you guys, Open Door. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I know that was the one that you guys are holding. There's so many. BarkBox.
But everyone's got one.
PaySafe. Right. Yeah, it just keeps on going. There's a lot of them. I mean, anybody holding anything Lucid related, Fisker,
MP Materials,
Nikola,
apparently is
FaZe
is
Clan. Was that a SPAC? I don't know. Again, I don't know enough about gaming to know about FaZe Clan. So any marijuana stock, those weren't really SPACs. Those were before. I'm just looking at through anything that's at 52-week low. Coins are at 52-week low. Roku's at 52-week low today. Marijuana stocks at 52-week lows for sure. Palantir, Clover's there. I'm just looking through the list of the stocks that I watch. That's pretty much all of them for the one. Affirm, Neil, $9. Like when
At
they
least
did that
I'm short it today.
When they did that Amazon deal, that thing went to like 180 or something. $9 today, absolutely pathetic. Wish, 57 cents.
Look at this stock.
It's sad, man. This is why I get depressed.
Look at Mobileye.
That's a short. It has to be a short.
Mobileye is like, come on. Like I still don't understand it. I'm glad I'm not approaching this by just saying I'm just going to come in and short this every single day. It is holding up so well in this market, and I'm still trying to figure it out. Why is this stock?
No wonder why nobody trusts markets and stuff like that.
No, like why is this stock holding up so well? And 15 doesn't want really low, but it's starting to come back down today. There's going to be a short. The market keeps on trending down. This stock is going to be a short. It's just a matter of sort of finding it. I'm not saying I'm pulling it up for the first time today and sort of working my way through this and trying to figure out what that might be. But Mobileye, it's done really well. What a fantastic IPO. We went long the first day, and I pretty much haven't really done anything with it since. I just keep thinking it was going to be a short, and it just defies logic. Rendo.
There was rumblings of this safe banking bill or potential safe banking bill to be included in the next budgetary bill going through in Washington. A few people just circulating a note suggesting that is not the case, and they will be left out. So downside move here, guys, for all these weed stocks once again. Speaking of, yeah. Stocks getting crushed. Tilray just breaking $3, down 8%.
We just looked it up. Mobileye doesn't even. I knew they didn't make money, but I actually had to remind myself they don't make money, up 2.5% today. Where are those today?
He just brought them up. That's why we were talking about
$3 probably.
it. Yeah, but just breaking $3. Tilray's been an absolute nightmare. We keep talking about those names, and it's just about like the fact TLRY here. I mean, I said the joke over and over again, it's getting lame, but it's just like any sort of a pop that happens. Like this was just at $5 2 weeks ago. You know, now you're down to $3. Like that's a Like, that's a pretty big move, man. Like, from 5 down to 3, like, you know, some of these names just getting chopped out and chopped in half and chopped in half again and then again and again, and it just keeps on going to the downside. You're gonna look to Tilray to break this 270 in just a matter of minutes, and then it's gone, and then you could buy this thing at $1. I mean, there's so many names, like CGC Weed is another one here in Toronto. I'll show you. Hopefully our Toronto charts are fine. Like, this is $3. This used to be like $80. Like, I mean, some of the ways that these names have gone has been really, really pathetic. Like, even just recently, 6 down to 3 again. You know, like, this is why when you're looking over at your accounts, you're like, what am I even doing holding on to some of these names? And hopefully you're not too much. But, I mean, they're basically at lows. This is going to go on infinitely, so I don't even know why I'm showing this to you. But it kind of reminds me of, like I said, oh, there it is, $80. Yeah, so what was the high? $72 there. So, you know, $72 back in February of 21. Like, it's not even, sure, it's a while ago, but it's like, just the destruction of capital, and then let alone we even, there, yeah, okay, so it's even going higher. So anyways, as you go, these are the marijuana stocks, and they just keep going. I'm only showing you the Toronto one because it hasn't reverse split or anything. Down there to $3. So this is CGC, Canopy Growth.
Speaking of
continues, man.
Speaking of reverse splits, someone in the chat there was just sort of asking, it's Jeffrey Herman in the chat, what does the CEI reverse split mean for its value? Fundamentally speaking, absolutely nothing, right? So like when you get a stock split, like if you had, you know, like when Tesla does like a 3-for-1 split, you know, essentially you own 1 share, you now own 3, the price goes down. It's the other way around, right? So if you own, I think these guys are 1 to 50. So if you own 100 shares, you'll now own 2 of CEI, and it's just fundamentally speaking, it's just like a split. All it does is change the price for a day and change a little bit of the dynamic. For sometimes on a split it matters for options, but on a reverse split it is all about regaining compliance and holding above $1. So if there is a positive, it's that it can maintain compliance with the market that it's on and not get delisted or head to something like the OTC market. So that would be the positive, but nothing fundamentally changes. What happened on COSM was just, I think, as I understand it, they did not notify some of the brokers fast enough, because like you file, say we're doing a reverse split, some of the brokers were not notified fast enough or in a timely fashion of the reverse split. So a lot of people trading it in the morning didn't have correct pricing on it, and there was some confusion in the pre-market on COSM as it was trading at the price pre-split of reverse split, and that's why people were getting such a good value for it and made so much money. But that's not going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen with CEI because everybody now knows about it. As of Wednesday, it'll be 1 to 50. So if it closes here at 11 cents, you know, then just multiply that by 50, and then it's going to be a $5 stock. And usually that's a negative sign because it has a downward trend. It's getting a bounce today. It's doubled up based on not having a fundamental change in value, essentially.
All right, new trade alert right there, as you guys can imagine, with this move going down. We actually got into our Tesla short as it did take out the bottom. So right now we're short. I don't know how we're short at 149.21. Obviously, we got triggered on that bottom as my break was supposed to be 149.17. So whether or not it broke or not, it doesn't really matter. We are now in this name to the short side for Tesla, flat in it right now. So it's just breaking down that bottom here as we are $1.20 now in the money on Apple. So really glad we didn't get out of that one. Let's see how far Tesla's going to go right now. We're always looking to take about $1, 148.20. I mean, we still got a little ways to go. It's 340 now. Wouldn't be surprised if we do get a bump back up though. I think we're just going to respect this level. If we take out 150, we're going to get out. We'll try it. We're in a Tesla short. What's up, Brandon?
Tesla downside. This one upside right now, guys. Fisker just popping up, approaching day highs. Anyways, watch $7 there. Not seeing much on this, but Fisker trying to make a run.
As Shawn reminded me, it's past 340 here, so what I'm going to do is not look gift horses in the mouth. Amazon bouncing off the low again. I'm going to get some more out on that low, COSM. It's just, look, I want this stock to break, and I have a bid at $7 on the off chance that 8 would break, and then it would actually go $2 in the money, but I don't think that's going to happen at this point. It looks like it wants to hold 8, and it just bounced off it again. So get out some more shares there. AMC, which, you know, this has been, since I shorted it at $5 off VWAP, it's just sitting there holding 485, like goes 10 cents in the money at best. But much like everything else, we have to be flat at the end of the day. Shawn and I we trade here with Day Trade the World. It's a day trading firm. That means all positions have to be covered by 4 o'clock. We don't hold anything overnight. That's why you see us oftentimes here. Even if a stock doesn't get to a target, well, sometimes 4 o'clock becomes your target, or 350 when the imbalances come out. I like to try to get as close to flat as possible, close to 350, or have trailing stops in to make sure I don't miss out on some of the profit as we're holding some of these. But I haven't taken anything out of AMC. I've been waiting for 480, and it doesn't seem to want to go there. Oh
man, we might. Again, like I was saying, like we're not, the meta long was going to be a bigger position than obviously this short, but we are, I canceled my meta long anyways. It's not, I mean, if it took that 115, it should have done it already. I don't even really want to position this late at the end of the day. But of course, we do have one, and it's going to be Apple short side. That's $1 in the money. That just touched a little bit lower. I still want to respect this 131. Bless you, 131.75 right there on this name. So I do have that order in to get out, although it's a little bit higher than that. I'm going to adjust this right now. 131.75 break. We're going to get out. So just setting out, like Neil said, we're just setting up our outs now to make sure that we can cover some of these. So we'll get out of Apple. That'll be $1. Well, it's $1 now. Hopefully we're able to take a little bit more on that one. And then the Tesla out is, I'm just going to take it if it breaks 150. A little more northbound than that, but somewhere similar. We took that break, and we're going to see now where it goes on the downside. We're actually doing pretty good on Tesla today. This trade is on now, so we'll reserve our comments until after, but I do think like a 140, like if we could take a piece out for 50 or 60 cents, that'd be fine. And then some downside moves in here to 147.50. So I just hope, Neil, that I can hold this until the close, because, or not till the close, so at least the imbalances come out. I'd hate to get sort of thrown around. And by the way, Camber, starting to go. I mean, we took a little bit more out there at 430s here. You can see we're long at 11, but again, until this gets out, I told you my average price was 12.20. I can't be up on this stock until we get above 12. So looks like we will be red on Camber today. And again, not just because we picked up the bottoms makes it basically a flat day for us, but we did have that 14 break. And again, we talk about all of our trades. There's the 14 break. There's the 11.50 average in. There's some outs at 13, so making a little bit better. And then some average prices here. But again, until we get back around this area, I'm not making any money. So hopefully it can rip into the close. But until then, we're just sitting on our Apple trade and our Tesla, both shorts.
Yeah, well, all shorts. Outside of CI bouncing, you just haven't been many longs. I canceled my Boeing bid 185. I mean, it's way too late in the day to want to take. I'm not taking a long off the low. Like if that fills right at 350, I probably don't want it. But I'm just, like Shawn said, trailing stops in. I got mine on Intel here. As a matter of fact, oh, there it goes. That just filled. So I'm all out of Intel now. We'll do the, I don't know, we'll do the spike because my Buffalo, for some reason, the Buffalo Bills cannot just dominate a game. Like they win, but they're just not, you know, like they're always making me sweat it out a little bit. Like I felt like we should have had total control over Miami in like the freezing cold and obviously there was a bit of snow as well. But Intel, I'm out of that one. Take the profit and run. You can't celebrate until you get out. You can't take profit until you've covered a trade. So you got to make sure you do it here. Only 4 minutes to go. I don't know if we said this, but the early look on the imbalances for the New York is 279 million to sell from financial juice. That's not significantly large. I don't think we're going to see a lot of large imbalances, probably at least until the last day of the year. Oftentimes you get the big one on Friday and then it kind of tapers off after that.
All right, so you might see Apple out of the account, so we'll go bang on that one as there's Apple out right there. We just talked about where we wanted to get it out, so whoops, don't add text. That's where we want to get it out, so right there, good out for us, right at the 50 period, out at 75, so we put that order out, now we save ourselves 20 plus cents on that one and get out of it, which was a very good trade for Apple. And again, like this is really, what else did I put on recently? We had Microsoft, which is a winner. We had Amazon, which is a winner. Apple's a winner. And then the only thing that we're losing on right now is Tesla. So this was a trade that we put on for you right before the power hour again. This was 250. We put it on, breaking to the low side. That was 132.40. It does give you the dollar. We don't take the dollar. We take the 80 cents at the end of it all. Get 131.70 there. And then what's been working, despite this market kind of rallying up, is this Tesla short. So here comes Tesla right now. We're short on this break of that level right there. We're just bouncing off of it. We know we have a good level here as it continues to bounce off this level. So I don't want to get out for flat, although we could, and then end the day pretty good. Let's see if we can make a move upside here, downside here on Tesla, and watch out for that. Yes, you can get 20% off your trade ideas. Cause M finally?
Yes, you can. As a matter of fact, like I said, I've been using the trade ideas, which I keep looking at like my like symbols to the downside here, and it's just been every single big cap. Like, oh, now it's telling me Roblox. But this before, it was just Apple, Meta, Alphabet, like everything big cap to the downside, triggering off. But it's finally happened. $8 broke on Cause M, so I guess I shouldn't be happy about this. Look, man, you saw me shorting this thing on Friday if you were watching the show. So to say that it was frustrating shorting the stock on Friday, here's an idea. Oh, my trades aren't showing up. That's annoying. But look, the stock did this. I had a long at 4 that I made $1 on, and the stock went at $24, and I shorted it like 5 or 6 times on the way upside, so that was a bit frustrating. But I got a trailing stop that I'm going to move to about 760 on this. I'm bidding in front of 7 even, so we'll try to take that if it does get there. But this is essentially what I was waiting for it to break that $8 level. We reloaded it in front of 9 even, and there was an iceberg at 9. Thankfully, that ended up holding out. So we can take a W on this with less than 2 minutes to go till the imbalances. Just adjusting that I cancel some orders there on Cause M. Okay, yeah, just have the 2. So I'll trail out of this if it breaks 760. Try to grab like a $1.25 and lock it in, or I get all the way down to 7 even on this stock. It looks like it'll be a good one. I think this will be in play again tomorrow, as I just got trailed out of it, so I'll ring the register. Or do this, Timber. I was waiting for it to timber, and then you saw like it ended up doing the really big move in the aftermarket, which we obviously can't do anything about this. Yes, did I like the short up there? Fine, but if it makes the move at 415, not much I can do about it except for sit there and watch.
Yeah, I was thinking, just sitting here thinking like, I could probably make like double the money if I just, every time I got out of something, I reversed it. Where I got out. Like there's Apple getting out at 70. It bumps to 132. That's 30 cents. I mean, it's not going to happen every time. This is why I got to, like, before I make stupid comments, I got to actually look into it. But right there, same thing with Apple. Or sorry. I was looking at that Microsoft trade where we got out right there at 50. And then it ripped to 39. Like it went up 50 cents again there as we come right back in. Okay, here we go. I have the imbalances up here. So we only have now 20 seconds to go. And Tesla's right at a spot. So if Tesla comes out as a negative right here, which maybe it is, then this should tank down. I do have a bid at 148.80. We talked about that. I'll put another one like at 148. Pretty much flat or so in case that does come into play. But right now with only 1 second left, let's see what happens at Tesla. Looks like it's going to be an upside imbalance as it's starting to go back up, which is completely fine. If we wind up losing on the imbalances, it's kind of like, lesson learned. We shouldn't really be holding things through it as you take the risk, hoping that the imbalance comes in your direction. So
DACs of sell.
We'll wait. Yeah, I mean, I don't see too many NASDAQ names. Uber. Apple's a buy.
That's big for
So that's a problem with Apple being a buy. I mean, that's probably part of the shoot up here. I mean, obviously Apple's going up, but we'll still sit here with Tesla. Looks like it wants to go back to the upside right now. So maybe traders were thinking the imbalance was going to come red. It didn't. It came green. So there it is, right to the upside here as the market taking off a bit. Yeah, it's silly to hold these things sometimes into the close, especially into the imbalances.
I'm going to get trailed out of Amazon.
Let's just see what happens here.
Like I put my trail at 85. I'm actually going to move it there because I feel like I didn't see Amazon on there, but if Apple's a buy, I feel like I don't see Amazon on there, but if Apple's a buy and these things are moving upside. Uber did have a big imbalance as well. It's actually moving to the upside. But yeah, I might just get out of Amazon if it breaks break even at this point. So I just keep sliding my trailing stop. Instead of 85, I'll go 84.90.
All right, well, welcome to anyone that's here for the first time. Please hit the like and the subscribe button because we're back every single day. Tomorrow at 8:30, we'll go over. Find me on Twitter at TraderTV Shawn for some trade ideas. We did have some good ones today for sure, including the Amazon short, including the Tesla trade as well. Microsoft's on there. Apple's on there. There's a bunch of names on there, including, do I have Camber? No. Well, one name that was on here that we didn't trade was Alibaba. That's what it was, as Chinese ADRs continue to be all the rage. So All right, CEI, we'll look at that tomorrow. It doesn't look like it's going to move. I don't have Amex on here. Let me just activate it again. Maybe there is CEI. No. So there's ARCA. I don't even see EI. See, sometimes you look for the ARCA exchange right there, and these are just like no-name symbols. So there's nothing happening there on that. So if CEI is on here, it's not a big one. I will get rid of the NYSE American indexes again and just look. BAC with a sell. Neil sort of talked about that. $32 name. Here's the minute chart. It's actually going up on a sell. Uber probably, what is the market doing? Hovering around. Uber up
Uber
on a
actually
sell.
bounced upside. Makes no sense.
Intel on a sell, probably going up as well. The whole market's going up. So, you know, sometimes what is that final number? There it is. 232 to buy. So again, a little bit misled there on the imbalances as it was 279 to sell. Comes out as a bid. We'll lose. It looks like we'll take a little bit of a hit here. This is the thing, right? Like when you're trading into these imbalances, Tesla was going to the downside. We saw it happen. And now it looks like we are going to get stopped out. We'll lose probably short at 20. We're out at flats. So, you know, we'll lose about $1 or so here on Tesla if it continues its march higher. But I don't want to give up on it yet. We have our target 180 break or so. Sorry, 150 break or so on that one, and we're going to get out.
Yeah, I just got another trail, and it'll be firm this time. It'll end the day down 7%, it looks like. So I got out when it broke 942 here. Just Amazon I'm in. Amazon breaks 84.90, I'm out of it. I'll probably hold this. At 355, you do get an update on the imbalances, so a lot of times, a lot of things will pair off there. So that could be a place that you get trailed out. But I feel like today was a lesson in the way when the market's just slowly trending the way it was, you just had to find your way into something and, you know, have an idea of the stocks that you like and the levels that you like, and then just sort of stick to those. Try not to get out of pocket on a day like today, right? You just don't fight the trend too much. Identify relative strength if you can find it. There weren't a lot of places that I think you could have found it here today, but I think Boeing was one name that stuck out that I didn't really look at, and that probably gave you a couple of golden opportunities off 185. I know it's really not doing anything with it right now, but that 185 will come into play tomorrow, as it looks like it's going to close in positive territory. So trailing stop on my last. I'll probably watch COSM going into the close, but it looks like that was a good exit out in front of $7. Just a little bit of a bounce here. Not nearly the volatility that it had on Friday, but it has mostly been to the downside. To me, there weren't many good longs on this stock. Since it, like right when it opened, or right before the open, it flushed. It then tried to bounce higher and then just kept flushing. So sticking with the short was the way to go. Much different story than obviously what happened on Friday.
All right, with only 30 seconds to go. Oh, man, I don't want to get stopped out. We're getting close to getting stopped out of Teslas. It's taking out 150 right now. All right, it looks like we will get stopped out here. I was just waiting for not too much higher than this. As the imbalances are going to come out. Whoops, there it is right there. Came out obviously to the buy side, as there goes Tesla breaking higher, so we'll lose 80 cents on that one. Sorry, 90 cents. We got out at 10s there, pretty much flat at 10. I actually don't.
I just got trailed out of Amazon.
I actually don't mind the short. I mean, look at this.
Market's bouncing.
Look where we got out of Apple.
Oh, not that much.
Like 131.70. Should have reversed it in, man, again. There it is. So there's a little bit of a downside move here. Let's just, I knew that we maybe got a little bit duped there on Tesla. Let's see. We're back into it now, and I don't, again, it ran up against us there because of the imbalances. Let's just see what yeah, it's okay. Again, not really into this too much, but there it is, just dancing around here. I wanted to see if it did want to come off once those imbalances flipped around. So at 355, you often get a turnaround. See, there's Apple with a sell imbalance. So sometimes you will get a turnaround on those names, but it doesn't look like it's affecting Amazon at all. We did take the advantage there. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to do anything with this. So let's just get out of everything now on CEI if we can. Breaking 127, it'll be a small loss for us, although not that bad on CEI after all, because we did have some really good buy lows on that one.
Oh, nice.
All right, here we go. We're still into Tesla. Let's see what happens.
So BAC's still 2.5 million to sell on the imbalance locator, and it's still going to the upside. I think this is one like at 358. It might. I wish it was at the high of the day, right at the high of the day, then at 358. Just try and say it'll reverse, then play the short. But I just said, oh, nice on my breath there because everybody understands what week it is. I know you're off on Friday, but we do a thing around here. We do like an ugly Christmas sweater thing, and I'm very excited about mine, by the way. That's why I keep bringing it up. But I just got confirmation that when Arun is here on Friday, he said he is going to try to get one. Arun's in New York on vacation, but he's going to be back on Friday to fill in for Shawn. He says he's going to get himself one.
I mean, I'm sure he'll be able to find one in
look, if you can't
state
find
of New York.
If you can't find an ugly Christmas sweater, then to me it just means you didn't look, as far as I'm concerned.
Here we go, 356, almost 357 coming on here into the last couple minutes of play there. So yeah, Christmas, so much fun, Christmas sweaters. So we'll have a look at that. All right, so yeah, market, wow, huge move here to end the day, right? So it's a nice move to the upside. Yeah, that's why we were trying to find some longs. Oh, let me just check out what Meta's doing. We canceled the Meta long. That would have been something nothing. So, you know, again, Meta, not going up. We liked it if it broke 115.15. Didn't happen. Meta goes all the way to the downside. Oh yeah, I think Meta had a sell imbalance. So nicely done to the downside there. Bad, man. Meta was just at 124, 125. Like I said, I'm not sure what is going to create some upside moves now as we head into the new year.
Oh,
but maybe yeah, I mean, it's a nice move upside.
All these outs are I'm so glad we got out of these. Right, but that's why you have trailing stocks.
Should have just reversed it, man. Like this Microsoft, that would be huge now. This was 239.50 our out on Microsoft. Our out on Apple was $1 ago right here. Some of these outs were absolutely incredible. Our out on Amazon was not that much ago, but still 50 cents ago to the upside. So the market is really trying to blow up a little bit here.
Intel crossed VWAP? How did this even? Intel's almost
it's
flat
a nice
on
little
the day.
relief rally here.
You know what? You're right about that whole reversal thing. But it's an easy thing to say. At this time of day as a day trader, it's not like it's noon or something. If the same thing happens at noon off lows like that, it's a little bit easier, like 11 o'clock or 1 o'clock. It's a little bit easier to put that trade on than if it happens at 3:50. You know, that's a bit of a different thing because you know you have to cover the trade. At least we know we have to cover the trade within 5 to 10 minutes. So you ask yourself, how far is it really going to move? Does the risk to reward work? Like if I go long here, give it to the low of the day, that's 11 cents. It needs to go to VWAP to make sense to me. Did I really think Intel was going to VWAP? I mean, hell no, not Intel, but maybe there was something else out there. And you have to consider risk to reward. Yeah, the same thing happens at noon. I think we probably have a chance to capture some of those longs. But with time of the essence, a little bit more difficult. COSM continues to fall. I like that. It continues to go downside. Did Camber hold? It held 10, right? Okay, good.
It's still there. We got out at 11 on the 11 break for Camber, but it is.
I only lost on.
It is
Camber
making
today.
a move to the downside. I was just looking at Amazon. Wow. Thanks for all the talk about Apple, like giving credit for the Apple trade. I mean, that was a great one today. Apple's actually my #1 stock today. Oh no, Amazon's my #1 stock, followed by Apple. So yeah, we crushed Apple today, man. A couple great shorts on that name. But we are getting ready to ring that register because we are almost closed for the day. Tesla's still doing some dances here. I'm actually waiting at 149. We'll see if we can get out of that one. Now with only 20 seconds to go. Remember, Randy broke the mallet. Oh, he fixed it. Okay, good.
No, well, of course he better.
Well, he has a whole workbench. I mean, I'm sure he has.
You know what? He probably broke it so that he could actually fix it.
He has wood glue for sure. So here we go. Yeah, probably just broke it to fix it.
I mean, he built that desk. It's a nice
that makes
desk.
sense. All right, with only 5 seconds to go, it's Justin on the ones and twos. 3, 2, 1. All right. Yes, take it easy on the mallet.
You don't want it to break again.
Right there. So that concludes the day, man. Thanks again for watching. There's some cheers behind us, so I hope there's some good outs there near the end of the day. So, all right, guys, without any further ado, Brendo, kind of a wild day, but calm. And then the end, we got a little bit of a bump up. Let's do our market check here with Brendan at the big desk.
Here we go. We'll make it official for everyone. 1.33 for the NASDAQ leads the way all day long to the downside. Ends that way as well. 0.84 for the S&P, 0.66 for the Dow. But yeah, more red, guys, on top of 3 in a row to end last week.
More red.
Unless you're looking at oil, right? We talked a little bit about oil before, but that was about the only thing that was too set upside. Yeah, I think the boys in the back did. The close had a nice move on there at the end of the day. And there was a good point. Someone said, you know, when the imbalances update, and they can flip from one direction to another. And if they do that, sometimes you can have like a big rally off the low. So that's probably what happened at the end there.
I'm still in Tesla short. That is correct. I mean, I'm waiting for a flush down to 149 here. I'll be getting out soon, don't worry. The wife has a parent-teacher council meeting. So I'll have to get there, watch out the kids when that happens. So I'm not going to stay here for too late, but maybe we'll hold this for a little bit here as it's starting to move down. I'm still trying to make that dollar back that we lost there at the end, or the 80 cents that we lost. I think we can get a 149 print. Let's wait to see. But yeah, glad to be back. It was a very, very good day. We're positive, which is nice. Always nice when you're in the green at the end of the day. So that's a nice little move there today. And I want to, once again, without Fahad here today, we don't have to worry about too much nonsense. So I want to thank Lucas today over there doing everything, and thank Randy as well for his work on the desk. And that's it, man. I want to thank all of our viewers for coming through one more time. Thank you to everybody. Thanks to Bears vs. Bulls. A big shout out to Brendan at the board, Sharif and Luca. I mean, killing it over and over again on the midday show. The Panettone is here, so we'll be having some of that. Lots of fun. Brendan's got it as well. What are you going to do with that, Brendan? Donate it?
No, I'm going to eat it.
What? Brendan, there's sugar. Are you sure?
It's the holidays, Shawn.
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm
You gotta do what
talking
you gotta
about,
do.
Brendo.
There we go. Finally, yes. Thank
That's
you,
what I'm talking
Luca.
about,
Luca's.
Brendo.
So the thing is, remember Brendan said like when he smells those Timbits, he puts on a couple pounds.
It's true.
Once you open this,
it's true.
bro. Yeah, it's gonna be different. This is different maker,
How
man.
many calories? Like an entire Panettone's got to be like a couple, like a few
Thousands.
a few thousand.
Thousands.
A few thousand calories.
This is a chocolate one.
I'm getting hungry just looking at
It
that
says
thing.
it's 310 for 1/9. So 310
Right.
times 9.
Yeah, so it's like
3,000.
3K.
Yeah.
That's a day right there.
Yeah, that's a day. So just start it in the morning, and then just don't eat anything else, and just finish it.
Panettone challenge.
Challenge.
Only eat that all day long.
That cannot happen because the minute you open it, you're finishing it won't last all day.
It won't.
It's so
No,
good.
Yeah, it
It's
won't,
like
it
you
won't
open those
last
little
long.
Ferrero Rochers or those turtles or something. It's like,
Yo,
those
I
things
love
get
turtles, dude.
I'm gonna get some turtles
I
for the
love
office.
turtles.
Okay, let's go. All right, for everybody here, thanks Bears vs. Bulls. Everybody behind us, good trading today for the guys. And I want to thank everybody for watching. But without any further ado, it's Monday night. Go enjoy yourself. Packers win tonight, so get ready to rock and roll with that. We'll talk about that tomorrow. For everybody here at Day Trade the World and what show is this? Oh yeah, Trader TV Live. We'll catch you tomorrow at 8:30. Ciao.